Oh yeah, we're live. Winning. Now we just gotta wait for big, strong men to show up. Oh yeah. Shit. You know, why does that keep happening? Why? I need to go set up the monetization for the stream. Why doesn't it do it automatically? This is annoying. Have any big, strong men showed up to the stream? Click, work, yes. Come on. There we go. Once we get everything started, we be winning. Where's YouTube? YouTube, your videos, stream. There we go. Everything should be set up. Monetization on. There we go. Greetings, Rev. How you doing? Don't you worry, I'll switch that gay Sunder thing over once I'm done. And actually set up some other things for the stream eventually, but I'm a bit lazy. There, you get to see my porn. Be happy. Oh, hell yeah. Twitter. Now, we'll do a quick peruse through Twitter before we move on to any videos. Ah. What's this? Rose better. Bro. Ugh, so done with these fucking comparisons. I don't think people realize that they're probably playing on two different modes. I could be wrong. That shit's crazy. I think people are just a bit silly, a bit smelly even. Let's see, do I need to fix up my mic? No, that should be right. Let's have a quick gander. How's the sound? Much better. I could sit a little bit closer. But there we go, that should be fine. Shoo, go away. There we go. Once we get a couple of silly people in the stream, we can get started. I guess that's what we can do. We'll just wait. Chill. See what these great, fine individuals want to see some amazing soul. And then we'll talk about the retard that got his account suspended because, you know, dumbass could stop keeping his mouth shut for a little bit more than like 2 seconds. He's a bit of a retard, Eric. Not Eric, fucking Urkel. There we go. Forgot his name. Less frames, but a cleaner look. I mean, they probably just took the screenshot at a very inconvenient time. Let's actually have a look at it, because I mean, I think that's all they were doing. I just think they're playing on 2 different performance modes, or 2 different modes. So I don't want to sit there and, you know, immediately jump. Wait, you can actually play this on GeForce? No shot. That's amazing. Oh, that's right. They got their own little Game Pass, don't they? Shit's crazy. Now, while we wait for a little bit more people, I'll leave it on the screen and I'll be right back. Actually, I'll quickly set up some music as well so people don't think the stream's frozen. Switch screen for a second. There we go. Music. Where do I have my music folder? Hopefully the sound isn't too high. I'll switch it over now. Sound. Drop that down. We'll set it to 10 and I'll be right back. There, get some Skyrim music in you. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. You just wanted to stop by, say hi? Well, welcome, and thank you for coming by. I do appreciate you showing up just to say hi, even if it's for a second. I'll turn that down a little bit, and then we can get started now that we got 6 stinky individuals here. There we go, I think. We'll turn that up, because I don't know which sound that's tied to. But hopefully that's good enough. You can let me know if it isn't. And then we'll drop that down there, and now we'll get started, shall we? That should be everything ready. Get that out of here, get that out of here. Now, we can either cover Twitter first, or Harmon, Dreamcast Guy, and a couple other people. If I can find them. So I'll let the chat decide the fate of this stream real quick. Bro, I can't believe you can buy a BFG. What is it, 10,000? Bro, that's crazy. I kind of want one. We'll have a quick little gander through Twitter, see what we could find. Like post. I don't know about Final Fantasy, but I agree with Astro. I think that would be a Game of the Year contender. The game looks peak. I want to play it. Ah, yes. This little rodent. Truly God's greatest gift to man. Bro, some of the shit this guy was saying is crazy. Like, I thought he was just taking the piss, but bro went a little bit too far, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Oh, well, I think he has a second account. I think I found it yesterday. Where is it? Do I not have it? No, I don't think I... So he has a second account somewhere. I'll have to find it later. We can go have a look through it. Look at that little cutie. You know, I can't believe he actually just proves the point that he sits on Twitter all day. That's kind of crazy that he just admits it, then this fucking spastic shows him and says, ah, yes. We play Twitter, but nothing else, you know. I can just go open up another tab and play another game if I so choose, you know. We don't have to sit there and, you know, change actual applications straight away. A bit rough, but it works. What's my boy Marty O'Donnell doing? Bro, if he actually gets into politics completely, bro, he has to do the Halo music. Shit would be peak. Actually, that looks sick as fuck, bro. What the fuck? That looks cool as shit. That looks cool as fuck, bro. That would be some good plates for the fucking PS5. That controller looks really good as well. I think that it would do well if the actual, like, buttons were black or something, or a different color. That's fucking peak. That looks cool. Looks peak. We'll repost that. Why not? Now, chat, for the 5 of you here, decide what we're going to do this stream. I want you to decide. Is it videos or Twitter? Which one is it going to be? We'll kind of be mindlessly scrolling through Twitter, of course, for a bit. Until we find something interesting to talk about. Okay. Just had to munch down on some water. Like post. Interesting. I actually haven't tuned into any of his fucking streams yet. Yeah, Blue Urkel got suspended. Bro's got dirty, but he has a second account. I had it up earlier, but I think I think he named it the same, didn't he? I don't remember what the name was. Will it appear if I do that? No. What was his name? That's what it was. Okay, yeah, there it is. Here's his second account. Oh, bro. Oh, no, he got it back. He got it... Wait, he actually got his main account back? No way. Nah, that's not true. You're up for anything? Okay, well. There we go. He actually got his account back from what it looks like. But sadly, it's gone and protected, so we'll screenshot that for later, because he's a little nerd. think no, we'll do it like that, because that actually could be good for a video. There we go. That should cover everything, but it doesn't... Oh. Follow. There we go. I'm going to request a follow, see if we can get in. Let's see what happens. We'll keep an eye on that just in case. I'll open up another Twitter tab just to make sure that we can keep an eye on this. Hopefully, he doesn't disappear on us. But there you go. The creature's back from the dead. Now, what videos do we want to cover? So, we got these two. This little cutie Harmon. You know, I want to cover Review Tech USA because I want to comment on that. What games am I currently playing? Well, that's actually a good question. We'll go have a look here. So, I played this game just a second before streaming. That's why I was a bit late to streaming. I was playing with some random guy that I found. I was doing some trading on the game. And then before that, I was playing War Thunder. And then, depending on what else I want to do, I'll just jump on an emulator and start playing Fable 2 again, because I've been playing through that recently. What else? Do I have any other recent games? No, that's pretty much it. I've been meaning to play the new Space Marine 2 content, but I haven't touched that. Bro, big man streaming. I should go jump in there and tell him how much of a cutie he is. Yes, he is my boyfriend. How dare you not look at my boyfriend, Harmon. Oh, that video is doing pretty well. 400 views. I'm kind of curious what he said. Let's see, do people actually agree with him? Harmon is a Nintendo shill. PC is a meme in 2024. No, I hope this video is interesting, bro. It's gonna be fucking crazy. I mean, I would recommend Fable 2. It's genuinely good if you can run it on an emulator. It's pretty stable. Occasional, VSync issues. Your screen will occasionally tear if you're using patches on Xenia. So, I mean, it's not bad. You can play it. It's playable. 60 FPS seems to work, but you need to make sure that there's no screen tearing. So, I guess we'll get started. About time I had to look at my boy wife, Harmon.
We all know that Review Tech USA is scum and has had what is coming to him coming for a long time. Okay.
I absolutely agree with Harmon. Review Tech is a bit of a spastic. I don't disagree with that. I think he's... How would I describe it? It's more like a death by 1,000 cuts, and his reliance on actually trying to do stuff and not actually take any of the initiative to actually doing his shit. It just kind of led to him being in this position. I won't lie though, but who the fuck deletes a 1 million subscriber channel? Who does that? Bro was making a passive $600 a month for doing nothing. That's $1,200, maybe $1,100 a month in Australia. I could use that. I would do anything for that, but no, he has to delete. Like, why would you do that? Like, who just sits there and says, yes, let's get rid of that. The money's not worth it. Your old-ass videos are still getting views because people like that content, or it's still useful today.
He's been doing this kind of thing for over a decade, right? Probably since the inception of his YouTube channel, right? This guy is a complete and total train wreck. Always has been, and people...
I don't know, his old content was actually pretty good. I never watched it back then, but I've gone back to watch a lot of his old content. It's actually pretty good. I think a lot of his story shit that he did was pretty enjoyable to listen to. But I think the big issue is that he refused to innovate upon what he did, or stick to a certain topic, or stick to a certain group. He always had to change it up. At least that's kind of how I, Bro, doing harm and dirty list? Oh, that's mean. Oh, I forgot I gotta read some of the comments. I kind of just zoned out for a little bit. How about some Project Wingman? I actually haven't played Wingman. That isn't a... Oh, I need to go look at it. Give me a second. What is Wingman? I remember seeing it. Where are we going? Steam. It's not a... It's not a DSG, is it? Wing... Man, there, Project Wingman. Oh yeah, it's an actual Air Force game. Yeah, I've seen this before. I haven't wishlisted it. There we go. We'll wishlist that. Wishlist? There we go. Bro, it's giving me that War Thunder vibes. Look at that. That shit looks peak. I would say, yeah, for Review Tech USA, I think, yeah, he was very worried about other content creators, at least how they perceived him. I don't know if he wanted to be a genuine good, because I never watch Review Tech that often, right? I only watched some of his older stuff. I watched him during the Quantum TV shit when that was going down a little bit, then I kind of got bored of his content, because it was just him repeating the same shit over and over again, or continuing a drama that doesn't necessarily need to be going on anymore. Like with Quantum TV, I think he still talks about that creature to this day. Apparently, Quantum TV actually made a response to Review Tech USA, deleting his channel. Maybe I can go find that after this. If it's on his YouTube channel, of course.
Have been pointing this out, but the downfall recently has been unprecedented. And of course, there's a lot of attention focused on him right now, and people are blaming the drugs, the degeneracy, like his general behavior, him as a personality. How you doing? What people aren't addressing is...
I think the smoking took a really big hit on him. Like, I'm never going to touch weed, right? I don't personally think it. I don't want to get addicted to it. I don't want to ever touch it. But it really depends on the individual that's smoking it. If he can actually handle that amount, it's pretty much fine. But I don't think Rich could do it. Rich is a bit of a spastic. Because when looking, it's like every time he has to take it, right? It's crazy. Like, I don't think he should be taking that much. I think he is genuinely addicted to weed. Like, I understand using it occasionally for recreational use, but he was doing it way more than that. Like, every time that there was an issue or there was a problem, he just seems to constantly take it. And I've met people like that, right? They have one, like, inconvenient thing in their day, they need to have the weed, or they need to have some urge to go get it to get out of a stressful situation. Quantum wished him well? No way he did. That's crazy. Quantum actually did. I mean, Quantum's still an asshole. I wouldn't, you know, he's a wife abuser, so I wouldn't want to fucking deal with him.
Is how his behavior correlates with his positions when it comes to the gaming space. Review Tech USA is an individual who has openly advocated for the PC Master Race in spite of buying every single gaming platform and obscure emulation device known to man. He is someone who...
I wouldn't really... I mean, he did use PC. I wouldn't call him a PC game... I mean, well, he probably played games on PC, but I wouldn't say he's like one of those people that say suck the dick of PC like I do. Like, PC is a good platform, but he mainly talked about gaming news for the most part. When he did, of course.
Who is an advocate for game piracy, which he refers to as emulation.
Based? If they're not providing the game, we'll just go get it ourselves, like I did recently. I did some ROMs today. I was like, I want to play this game. Let's go find a ROM on a website. So I did.
Right. Game preservation is the way that these people is the buzzword these people use for it. He has been a big advocate for piracy.
Oh shit. Fair enough. That's good content. I need to... Also, does Quantum... Did he actually upload it to his YouTube? I don't think he did. Give me a second. I'll go find it. We'll go look at his video wishing well or whatever. I'm kind of curious. We'll switch over. Give me a second. We'll go take a look. And I'll see if I can find the video. Because I think I still have Quantum here in the background. Yes, I do.
Alright, guys. So
okay. So Quantum. Let's see. So he's still reviewing technology, or whatever he does for it. Does he mention anything here? Oh no, he's talking about Dragon Ball. Let's go, champ. I watched a friend play that today. He doesn't mention anything. It's mainly just talking about TVs. Did he do it on, his channel or community post? I'll have a quick look at that as well, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Do I believe in Jesus Christ, says Quantum. No. I pay taxes. The only Jesus. He has a Patreon. Huh. Okay, I can't seem to find it. Anyway, we'll switch back to the Harmon video. There you go. We'll say hi to my boy wife Harmon.
Pirating Nintendo games and keeping them like secured in like some,
It was his last video. I must have not seen it. I must be blind. I'll go take a look in a second. We'll just want to get through this
some
first.
weirdo can just download them and play them online, right? He is.
Yeah, we can download these ROMs and play them. If they're not distributed, it's completely fine. If you're not distributing the games, yeah, I wouldn't really say it's piracy, because you're not going out of your way to preserve them.
Is a big shill for that. He really, really hates how Nintendo has been taking down Nintendo emulators. He is a big critic of that. And finally, he is someone who is a huge, huge advocate for the Steam Deck. I pointed this out on my channel.
Yeah, the Steam Deck is peak. You can run emulators on it. You can run your own software on it. 'Cause it's Linux based, isn't it? So you can run pretty much whatever you want on it. I mean, it is Linux based, so maybe you can't run everything, but you can run most of the stuff that you would need, right? It's in his latest review title. The review tech user who deletes his channel 2 days ago. I just looked. Okay, we'll go take a look. Give me a second. I'll cue that video up. Just give me a second. I'll go find it. Here, look at Gay Thunder for a second. Gay Thunder will look after you. Let me go have a look. I must have missed it. I was kind of just having a quick look through. Oh, there it is. He made a short. I see it.
Alright, guys.
Oh yeah, he uploaded. I did not pay attention. My bad. Shoe ad. Go away. Grab that video. We'll move it over to this tab. We'll grab that. Paste it here. Shoe ads. I'm not buying YouTube Premium. You can't make me. I'm not wasting my money for something an ad blocker could do. Okay, we got it. My bad. I was not paying attention. I must have just skipped right past it. So we'll pull that up in a second. Thank you. Let's finish up with my big boyfriend Harmon, my big chubby bastard.
This is one of those things that like I noticed but nobody else pointed out. Review Tech USA.
Speaking of the Steam Deck, it's finally being sold in Australia. Do you think it's worth paying up? Well, it really depends what you're going to do with it. Like, if you want to mod games, you can go pick it up. If you want to play most of the games, I believe most indie games are compatible with it. It really depends on what you're going to use it for. You can play some AAA games. I think, what is it, when Alex did his review on it, it ran at like 40 FPS with everything, I believe, either turned to medium or low. So there are some modern games that you can play. So like, if you're going to use it for emulation, you could get away with it depending on which emulator you use, of course. So like, maybe you could run most of the games at their native 30 FPS, because emulators are a bit resource intensive depending on which one you get. I mean, they're not that bad as they used to be, but I've noticed that temperatures can be pretty high when running them, so maybe that's the only downside to them. Mainly with Xenia, I think I sit at a stable 65, but that's because in Australia, as always, it's pretty hot here, so the room temperature isn't the best. Bro, looks like... bro, that's fucking mean. Albino Jabba the Hutt, bro. He looks lubed up. Look at his hair, bro. Look how lubed he is, bro. He's ready to go down on a poor man like me. I'll let him call me fucking daddy if he wants. Or I'll call him daddy if he wants, bro. Me and Harmon holding hands as we go down the street, you know, skipping down the street like the perfect gay couple.
Seriously made a statement saying that
I forgot to say this, but yeah, if you want to get the Steam Deck, it's entirely up to you, but I would say if you're going to use it to play old games, absolutely. If you're going to play emulated games, just check out how well the emulator runs. If you're going to play new games on it, you have to try and do your own little techniques to make sure it works, but if it's something that you need and you want to play games on the go, absolutely. I'm probably going to get myself one, but I want to get myself I forgot what's the best variant of it. It's like $800 here, so maybe I'll get myself a good one. Because since I'm starting to go out more and more often through the day, I would appreciate taking something like that to me. With me. Fucking hell, English.
Deck was the most important tech innovation since the iPhone.
I mean, the way that I would look at the Steam Deck as an innovation, it can show you how much power you can put into a handheld device and get away with playing a lot of these newer games. I would believe, yes, it is a pretty important innovation. I don't think most of us expected to play something with that much power in a handheld device.
he really came out and made that comparison. Some stupid Switch
$900
knockoff, like
for a, what is it,
SteamOS thing
512 gigabyte OLED? That's
is
crazy.
as successful, it is as culturally relevant as the iPhone. Something that literally everyone has.
I have an iPhone 6 that barely lasts 30 minutes without the battery dying on it. Who messaged me? Who messaged me? Who was that? Who was that? Who is this? Hell yeah. Deep Rock. Lucky I don't have it installed, so he can wait. I don't think he knows I'm streaming. Poor thing.
He's completely out of touch with reality. He has no idea.
Oh, I forgot to come. But yeah, I don't think like the Steam Deck is going to be as relevant as an iPhone, but I believe it's a really big innovation for what it's achieved. I can't wait to see later variants and what type of power they put into those bad boys. Because it's really cool to see stuff like that. I don't think any of us would have expected in our lifetime to have something that is comparable to some of these consoles out there in a genuine handheld device. Of course, it doesn't last long, but you can get some good mileage out of those. And it's impressive what you can do. I kind of wish you could take them apart and modify. I mean, I haven't used one yet, so I wouldn't know if you can take it apart. But if you could take a Steam Deck apart, I think it would be really cool to modify it. Add like a terabyte SSD, but it depends on how it's all configured.
About tech, he has no idea about how successful it is. Like, he doesn't know anything. Like, anybody who seriously makes these kind of statements is just completely insane and delusional. But to me, this is a really obvious...
Good to see me live. Well, I appreciate you being here, mate. As long as you're here for a good time, that's all that matters. I may not be the most entertaining person, since I don't have much room to be that entertaining. I just enjoy people being here to say hi. Maybe when I get a bit more of a quiet place and a bit more soundproofing, I can say some stupid shit and get away with it and do more oh no, it's Alex type shit, but until then, I'm gonna have to be a bit chill. But nonetheless, hope you enjoy the stream.
A sign at just how out of touch the PC Master Race really is.
Fuck you, Harmon. I'm checking if the Steam Deck is on top of the sale charts. Is it? We'll quickly delete that message. I don't need that there chewing up. Featured. Shoe. Categories. Top sellers. Is the Steam Deck there? Where's the Steam Deck? 'Cause it usually appears here. Steam Deck. How's it selling? Okay, so those are the games. It doesn't tell me most played top sellers in general. Oh, the new Factorio updates. I gotta get that, bro. I want to play Factorio. My autism brain would love that. Where's the Steam Deck in here? Is it nowhere? Usually it's at the top here. Chart overlook. Anything else that I can look through just to confirm if it's here? You can take it apart, add bigger M2 storage device. They've actually made a video of how to do or assemble it, and oh, that's actually really cool of them. Should be on YouTube. I'll go take a look at that later then. That'd be pretty cool to learn if I need it. Bottle, stop making noises. Go down there, on the floor. But yeah, oh, that's actually a lot of fucking people, bro. That's crazy. People playing games right now. That's fucking crazy, bro. 25 million people. What game? So COD's at the top, of course. Counter-Strike, Factorio, Throne and Liberty, Factorio, Hogwarts Legacy is down up there for some reason. Oh, it's on discount, bro. That's crazy. That's up there doing good. What else? Most played games. Not bad. Rust, of course. Wish I could play that game. Have you seen the controversy around the new Team Fortress stuff, bro? That was crazy. People were getting pissed at what they changed their scouts' pants slightly. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. People were so mad. I was running through Twitter. Shit was fucked. People were mad over that. Like, they fucking spent years, and then all of a sudden they changed it to a slight blue color. Like, fucking hell. Shit's funny. Either way, we'll move on.
Right? Because Steam Deck, let's be real here, has sold less than Wii U. Okay? It has been a complete and utter train wreck, right? Nobody buys one. Nobody plays them. Nobody talks.
I know a couple people that are not from Australia that actually own a Steam Deck, and they say it's an absolute blast to play certain games. Of course, it's mainly indie games, but it's a good thing to use when you're on the go and you don't have much time at home to play your PC or your consoles, but you also want that performance. of course, but you've also got the ROG Ally, you got everything else. But from what I've heard, it's actually sold really well. When I last checked some time ago, it was still at the top of the charts for being a well-sold handheld device. So I don't know about you, Harmon. Seems like a bit of a cope from you, big boy. Yeah, bro, it was crazy. They're like, oh yeah, he's a slight bluer color now in his pants, and then I think, what is it? There's a workshop mod already available that switches it back to its old color. That shit was funny, bro. I was like, people are this mad. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of an issue, but then again, people might prefer that color. Who knows?
Talks about them at all unless it's the downplay Nintendo consoles. And this is the big thing.
Well, yeah, the Steam Deck is far better. It really goes to show you what you can put inside of a handheld device, Harmon. It shows what Nintendo could do with the Nintendo Switch 2, make it actually competitive with the Steam Deck, because now the Steam Deck is competing with that as well as the ROG Ally and all these other things. So now Nintendo will actively have to compete with those devices to show people it's worth it to buy. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the Nintendo Switch will outsell that by like a tenfold, 10 mile, bro. Like, that shit's gonna be crazy. If it's comparable to the Steam Deck and ROG Ally, of course. I don't know how hard, I mean... Fucking hell, give me a second. Sorry about that, I just had to clear my nose. I sound like shit. How does Harmon manage to be relevant to everyone? I agree, Harmon's a bit of a spastic. I mean, I'll give him credit, right, even though his books may not be good, right? I've never personally read them. I still think it's pretty cool that he's going out of his way to try and do something that he likes doing. If he enjoys making stories and books and all that, good for him. I don't personally care, but, you know, bit of a spastic on his end. If he makes a silly book of stupid shit, well, yeah, of course we're going to criticize it, but hopefully he's a smart man and takes the criticism. But not many people have that talent to write a book, or have the will to write a book like he does. What time is it in Australia? Let's have a gander. It's nearly 3 p.m. So, I think Harmon's just a bit of a silly man, a bit of a goober, but, I mean, I'll just give him credit for what he can do. Like, I'm sure most of us can't write books. Well, maybe we could. We're no George R.R. Martin, of course.
About the PC Master Race right now.
Leave my Master Race alone, big boy.
Up over and over again on this channel is that they aren't that invested in video games. They're not playing like new and interesting things on PC. You know, they're not playing like...
Why would we? When old games are always going to be superior. Most of my library consists of games that are over like 5 to 4 years old now. You published myself? Hell yeah, champ. Like, Harmon, you need to realize this, right? A lot of new games don't interest people because they're always live service, and they're trying to compete with previous games that are always trying to chew up your time. Like, look at me, I'm playing War Thunder. That game's like, what, it came out in like 2012? And I played it back in, what is it, like 2022 when I first jumped onto PC, or 2021. And that's where I've stayed ever since. I don't want to play many other games that are live service because they take too much time, too much grind. Like, I looked at the new Warframe update recently, and I was like, oh, another syndicate that I have to go climb up 5 ranks for, and I can't be bothered just to get one stupid item, and I don't want to play it, so I was like, you know, don't care. DE can take my nuts. Time is very limited, Harmon. We don't have enough time to play every game that comes out.
Like, obscure indie games on Steam. They're not, like, playing every new AAA game that comes out. Like, all they do is brag about their systems and how they can, like, allegedly pirate everything, but...
Yes, we can. If we find something, if we want something, we'll get it for free if we so desire that that option may not be worth the money. Look at Adobe products. Nobody wants to pay for those garbage because they fucking make you waste so much money on a shitty subscription service just to use them. Get a cracked version that you can use. Problem solved.
They don't seem to really know anything about the games themselves, right? You know, Review Tech USA has admitted this several times. Like, oh, I haven't played Zelda ever. Insane to me. You know, when you...
He hasn't? I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't really watch most of his content when it comes to that stuff. I mainly watched his, shit around Quantum TV. That was it. But some of Zelda's stuff, it was actually pretty funny. He's a little gooner. A fat man.
You look at, like, his critique of Nintendo Directs, right? Like, oh, nobody cares about Splatoon. You know, nobody plays Fire Emblem. Like, this is all completely, like, delusional.
I won't lie. I don't ever pay attention to fucking hell, losing my words, bro. I don't ever pay attention to any of Nintendo's Directs because I don't use their platform. Of course, that's just me, but maybe other people do. I don't, so I can't really say about how well these franchises are and how good they are. It ain't allegedly. We pirates look at what? Ugh. Yeah, you are the captain now, champ. You know exactly what you want. Bro wants that game, it's mine. I don't want to pay $120 for a game that may or may not be worth it, because, you know, stupid pre-orders. Bro, that shit's crazy over here, bro. They're making us pay like $110, $120 for Starfield. I wish I never paid that much. Good thing I got a somewhat discount on it.
Delusional, insane copes. Okay, like, again, you see this a lot when it comes to, like, PC gamers, where they do this thing where they try and pretend Nintendo's relevant only because of Mario and Zelda, as if, like, other franchises don't have fans of their own.
Ew, he's drinking water, and yes, that's, like, the only thing I actually know about the Nintendo's franchises. Holy shit, words. Like, that's literally it. I can't name any of the other franchises off the top of my head besides, like, the Fire Emblem, and that's it. Purely because I don't use their platform. I don't take an interest in their games. I probably should. I bet their games are pretty good. Except Pokemon games. Fuck those. Those seem to be pretty ass now. You know, Diddy had the right mindset. Bro was out there trying to catch all the Pokemon. He was playing his own type of Pokemon game, bro.
Right? They do this every single time. Where they just make some wild claim, like saying, Baldur's Gate 3 outsold Tears of the Kingdom, right?
Did it not? If I'm correct, it did, didn't it? They sold a shit ton of copies of that game. Like, how was it, like, it wasn't 20 million in the first, no, because it came at the end of the year, so I think, like, in the, what is it, the first time it came out, not including when it was in early access, I'm sure it sold a shit ton of copies, more than 15 million easily. That game is still being pretty... I would say it still has a lot of players on Steam. I haven't checked. Actually, no, I just checked. I wasn't paying too much of attention, but it seems to be pretty popular even to this day. And on discount, I'm sure it jumps up straight up to the top, bro, because everyone loves it. The modding scene's going really well. That game's going to be alive for years. Yeah, Diddy was too busy. Nah, Harmon and Diddy crossover, bro. Imagine that, bro. The perfect duo for crime. Harmon out there doing his peak charisma skill and his jaw of the dragon book, bro. He's gonna get all the ladies. He knows exactly what the ladies like.
They make this wild claim, you know, they call Baldur's Gate 3 Game of the Year. They illicitly granted all this awards.
When I was younger, I used to torrent games. Fair. And I thought it was actually it. It took me time. Fair. You actually didn't realize you had to buy games? Bro, that's crazy. I will say this, though. My brother, when he used to go to work, right, during the 360 time, and he had, like, I think a couple terabytes worth of games on his thing, and he used to repair 360s and all that, bro. It was crazy, some of the shit he used to do. He used to JTAG consoles and all that, fix people's consoles for the Red Ring, because he had, like, a kit there for him. And he would pull out, like, this, big hard drive filled with games, save files, and everything. If you wanted a modded game, he could get it for you. And he was telling me how he had like Halo 4 before everyone else because there was a leaked build online that you could play. And I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. So by the time everyone got to play Halo 4, he already finished it. He just couldn't access the multiplayer, of course. That shit's kind of crazy. But then again, security on the 360 wasn't the best. You could see, I mean, there wasn't really that many hackers when he played online, but there were most certainly people using like Horizon and all that to mod their Gears games to have better wall bounce and all that. I did notice that quite a lot. It's crazy what you could get up to on the 360. I do miss that time. I kind of wish we never left that, but then again, good things need to come to an end.
Yeah, they create this illusion this game is super popular and talked about. And then like people actually play the games. You know, these are all like 100-hour long RPGs, so they're not just going to be breezed through. People actually play the games. People play both, and every single time Zelda comes out on top. You know, it happened with Elden Ring, it happened with Baldur's Gate, it happened.
You know, I want to ask this question, but what console was the original like games for Zelda on? That wasn't the DS, was it? No, that's a handheld, isn't it? Because I kind of want to play the old ones. I want to play a lot of these old games. I'm sure someone knows what the emulator is in chat. Or what platform, so I can just go look it up quickly. I can't show it on stream, but I'll get in trouble if I show sites like that.
Happened with Skyrim, right? Happened with The Witcher 3. Like, the PC Master Race kind of lives in this bubble where they're simply unwilling to admit that Nintendo is genuinely popular. And if they do this weird thing where they try.
No one's trying to hide that Nintendo's popular. They're the most popular handheld device. If I'm correct, their handheld console has sold the most out of any platform in the world. Because first of all, it's $300 in most areas. NES? Okay, thank you. I'll look that up later. The first Nintendo based. I'll look that up later. I'll find an emulator. Actually, would you be able to tell me the emulator if you know what it is? If you know any, of course. Because I'll go jump on that, see if I can find the ROM for the games, and just go jam it for a bit. But yeah, no one's trying to hide that Nintendo's very successful. No console will ever come close to Nintendo, bro. Not even the Steam Deck will. They need to offer very competitive prices to even beat those numbers, because they've sold over like 100 million, haven't they? So what's the point? And they've also offered better versions of what you can. Like OLED screens and all that. That shit's fucking cool as fuck. Who wouldn't want that? Fair enough. I think Vim's Layer might actually cover that. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that just in case I might get in trouble. But yeah, Vim's Layer might actually cover most of the emulators if I'm correct.
Try and imply it's only because of nostalgia and because of like Nintendo's established IPs. It isn't because their games are good, right? It isn't because people actually like playing their games. It's like, oh, it's because these games have been around forever. You know, never mind the success of Splatoon, which isn't even a decade old yet. We're at that weird point now where people are seriously trying to write off Splatoon as not being a new IP.
It isn't really new anymore.
Even though it became phenomenally successful, even though that like it.
Didn't people get mad about a character being like slightly tanned from a Japanese artist, and then people were like, "Oh, you tried to whitewash this character"? I remember seeing that on Twitter, bro. That shit was kind of funny as fuck. Like, bro, let the man draw what he wants. If it's a slightly different tan, chill the fuck out, bro. People were going crazy on that guy for just changing a slight color, slightly. Shit was fucking dumb, bro. People are weird on Twitter. The shit you see on there is dumb as hell.
It's one of Nintendo's most profitable brands now. You know, it's one of the series featured on Alarmo, right?
You know, I need to ask this, but what happened to Review Tech USA? This has more just become like his typical rant about like Nintendo, blah blah blah. But what does this have to do with Review Tech? Come on. You need to cover Review Tech, big boy. You can't just have Review Tech in the thing. You only covered him at the beginning. Where is he? Like the first 2 minutes. Where?
Like, it's huge for Nintendo. A huge success. Every single time we see something Splatoon related get announced, like, oh, I don't care about that. Nobody cares about that. This is America. Splatoon's only big in Japan. Like, every single time they do this, right? Like, there's no consideration.
It's been 12 years, bro. That's crazy. Fuck, that makes me feel old, bro. I remember when I was a kid, watching like Cartoon Network, and I'm not sure they promoted on there, bro, but I was watching shit as a kid. Or like a young teen, I don't really know. How am I now? I'm 21, so roll back the clock by like 12, 13 years. And there you go. You know, I remember seeing that shit being advertised everywhere. N64. Zelda games. No, so it's on the N64, okay. I'll note that down. I don't know, I've been kind of going on a binge and playing a lot of older games because I was like, bro, I kind of like these old games. I want to play some, you know? Because I never got to play them as a kid. I only had my GameCube and that was it. I played Time Splitters and I forgot what else I played on there. And then I moved to the Xbox One. No, not Xbox One. Xbox Classic. I played, what is it, Mech Assault, Halo 1 and 2. I think there was Time Splitters on that as well. What else? I don't remember many games as a kid, but I do remember Mech Assault. Mech Assault was such a good game. I actually played it recently, bro. That shit was peak.
For like the fans of the brand or people who like playing Nintendo hardware, right? It's always just this obsessive compulsive need to defend PC gaming at
Harmon, we could say the same for you. It's almost a necessity that you need to mention Nintendo in a conversation that doesn't include them because somehow they're being looked at in a negative light, or you have to mention them because they're the great kings of gaming. Stinky Harmon.
at all costs, right? You know, there are plenty of games that like sold more than Baldur's Gate 3 that are more popular than Baldur's Gate 3, but like because that was like such a big PC game, like the game they were shilling at the time, like, oh, Baldur's Gate 3 is the best game ever made. Like, it's just completely.
Well, it is, and in some sense it's a game that really values your choices that you make. The game doesn't really hold your hand. You go from point A to B, and you don't really get your hand held, and a lot of people really respected the game for that. Now, there are some issues with it, like being released unfinished on launch. You know, what a standard in gaming that we all love. Yeah, Mech Assault was badass. I tried to get the second one working recently on the old emulator, but I couldn't get it working. I don't know why it doesn't work. It crashes on boot up, but I don't think it actually works. I need to check the compatibility list. But I don't know. I mean, looking at something like Baldur's Gate, yeah, I have my issues with it, but we can all say that Baldur's Gate was one of the biggest games that we're going to have of this decade, or generation, if you would rather. I don't know what you would equate it to, but you could put it somewhere in there, and it would honestly just be one of the greatest games you have. Because it does so many things right. Of course, there are issues with it, but they're improving the game every update. You got mod support that will probably make the game last years from now, like Skyrim. Yeah, Armin did forget he was supposed to talk about it. Yo, Steel. Thank you, Line, for becoming a member. But first of all, that's an issue. Why didn't it notify me? Why didn't it notify me? I had to look at chat to see that. Where's the notification? Where's the alert box? There was no alert box. Well, why no work? Why no work? But anyway, thank you, Lion. I appreciate you becoming a member. Welcome to the Discord if you want to join up.
It's just completely delusional, right? It's out of touch. Exactly like Review Tech USA. Again, like the people who are, you know, are up and coming gaming YouTubers now, the people who are making like gaming PC videos and like making commentary videos on this.
Oh, the visual did appear? Oh, my bad. I'm watching it on my phone right now. Yes. Yeah, the Discord, I don't know how you join it, but there should be a link there if you click on it. Oh, you should get something. I forgot how, what's his name, joined, because there's another member. But he joined the Discord. There should be a link. Someone, if it doesn't appear, I'll say, if you want to give me a Discord, I'll send you a link privately, if that doesn't work. But you should be able to find it.
Channel. They're all making the same mistakes that Review Tech USA.
But yeah, I appreciate you becoming a member. I mean, at least I know now that the thing worked. I must have not noticed it when I was looking at my screen.
They did. They're not talking about video games.
I should also mention there was never meant to be audio. But actually, no, the text is speech. But I don't think you left anything under that.
They're attacking fans of other brands, right? And they're not really having fulfilling lives or careers. Again, this.
What do you mean? What do you mean we're not fulfilled? I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I got so bored of working out at home, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym. I may not know how to use any of the machines there at the gym, but you know what? Most of them are like picture books. They got picture books at the top of them, bro. They show you how to do all the stuff, you know. The gym is peak. I'm going there. I'm getting ready to go into the military, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win. I also have my own. How the fuck are we not fulfilled? I mean, Rich isn't fulfilled, of course. He's a fucking idiot. He put himself in a situation. But everyone else? I don't know, they could be pretty happy. You don't just drop my on a PC and not be happy. Stinky Harmon, bro.
This is, I think, an example of what the typical PC gamer life cycle looks like. You know, the kind of person who just obsessively sits in front of a gaming PC, you know,
Hello, Silver. How you doing? It's good to see you again.
trying to gaslight people on message boards about how much fun they're having emulating other people's games when
It is fun. We don't have to buy the platform. We don't need to play the games. I'm your favorite Australian. I feel loved, bro. He fulfilled... Bro, he probably munches on that stuff, bro. He needs the extra protein for when he goes to the gym. That isn't fat you're seeing, mate. That's all muscle. He's built like a sumo wrestler. He would mess us up in a fight.
in reality they don't play anything at all. Like, again, we know this about Review Tech USA. This has been proven that like people were able to like get into his Steam account and look at
There should be a link there. It should automatically link you to the Discord. If you want to drop your name, I'll add you quickly, and then we can get that sorted out for you. If there isn't, I'll have to recheck the links and make sure everything's set up correctly, because it should automatically invite you to the Discord. If that doesn't work, I'll need to fix that again, but thank you for letting me know.
his look at what he was playing, and he doesn't play anything. This was your guy. This was the guy you were trusting, you were watching to tell you about technology. This was the guy who was downplaying Nintendo, who was propping up the Steam Deck, who was worshiping Elden Ring, right?
Ah, he had to mention Elden Ring. It wasn't a Harmon video without mentioning our great god from Miyazaki. Oh, Elden Ring. It's always Elden Ring. It always comes back to Elden Ring. It's always Elden Ring, guys. It just has to be Elden Ring.
This is what the average PC gamer is like. All of them are just like Review to Ekyo. They're fat, they're balding, they're addicted on drugs, they don't work, they don't...
Ew. I work, thank you very much. I run my own small business. I watch bees fuck. That's cool. You know how lazy that job is? Elden Ring does live rent-free in his fucking head, bro. That shit's crazy. Bro just loves to mention. He's like, oh, we need to talk about PC gamers. Elden Ring. Gotta talk about console. Elden Ring. He just needs to mention it, bro. It's always Elden Ring. Elden Ring did something to this man. His mind's broken. Every time he goes to sleep, Miyazaki is there whispering in his ear. It's like, bro, Elden Ring 2 is gonna be fire when that man finds out.
Don't do anything, right? They harass...
Okay, give me a second. I'll add you on the thing quickly, and I'll add you, and I'll give you all the roles. Give me a second. Give me a second, chat. Could I help Big Man out? Kind of wish they did an ID system. That'd have been really cool. Friends. Add friend. There you go. I should have sent you a friend request. Username is incorrect. What seems to be wrong with it? Is that your actual name, or is that like your actual username on Discord? Because you have two usernames now, because people are fucking special. Because what's mine? Mine's Onyx, and then it's... so it's Onyx, and then Onyx Legacy. I'll drop mine in chat as well, quickly, so you can see it. And then, just in case if I can't add you... Shoe streamer mode, I don't give a shit, fuck off. I need to show you my name, but it won't let me. But it should be somewhere. Give me a second. User profile. I can't find where my name is. It should be there, stream mode name. Fuck off. But yeah, it doesn't say that I can send you a friend request. Your name doesn't seem to exist. Because the username says it's incorrect for some reason, so you might need to send me another one. Okay, I'll try that one now. Thank you. Let's grab it. No, that doesn't seem to be correct either. Double click the name, that is incorrect. How's it incorrect? How's it incorrect, huh? Give me a second. We'll continue the stream before we look at it again. I want to finish up Harmon's video, then we'll fix it up. There we go.
Underage girls through all these weird technological mumbo jumbo way, like I don't know
What?
anything, right? They harass underage girls.
They're
Fat. They're balding. They're addicted on drugs. They don't work. They don't do anything, right? They harass underage girls through all these weird technological mumbo jumbo way, like I don't know.
Harmon, I've seen what you said on your Twitter, and I've seen what you've said in your community post. You say some pretty weird shit, bro. Bro's fucking crazy. We harass underage women or women in general, bro. That's fucking stupid. Don't say that shit. You're just gonna piss people off, you fat retard.
What ReviewTech USA did? He had like a Dropbox that was secret, that like had his wife's kids on it. Like,
I think it's a bit fucking retarded he did that. Well, then again, if it's his kids. Oh, wait, no, because they were.
I don't know anything about this because it's so degenerate, but like, this is the average PC gamer. Someone who is just like a bitter, toxic person who cannot accept that
okay, I'll do that in a
Nintendo
second.
is superior. That's all this comes down to, right? Like,
Bro was harping upon like how Nintendo isn't known, and then he finally amended. Where the fuck is Rich? Why aren't you fucking spastic? Like, you only mentioned that. You spent most of this video talking about Nintendo, but not actually review tech. I thought there was going to be something interesting here, but no, it's just another Nintendo video.
Everything else, when it comes to ReviewTech USA, his history of blistered thumbs, the big cheese thing, like,
Big cheese,
all of
bro.
that pales in comparison to, like, what he is at his core.
A retard.
He is a perfect stereotype of what an average PC gamer is like.
Ew. No, he's not. No one wants to be like Rich. Rich is a fucking idiot. Give me a second, I'll do you now. Name, give. We are not like ReviewTech, bro. ReviewTech's a fucking spastic. He put himself in a shitty situation and refuses to actually learn anything. He refuses to do anything. There we go. I sent you a friend request. Accept that, and then we're good to go. I'll invite you to the Discord now. Once we get that all set up, you're ready to go. Not many people talking here, of course, but it doesn't matter to you. Vroom, vroom, a Carter outside. 1 second, chat. We're nearly done here. Just got to invite him in. Invite. There you go. You should have got your Discord invite to my Discord. You won't show anything. Oh, there you go. You got your member roles. Hello. Okay, so yeah, set all the member roles up for you. There you go. You trying to self-promote yourself in my DMs? I'm gonna beat your ass. Okay. We got a Dreamcast guy video, and we got a Quantum TV video, boys. Which one is it gonna be? Which one is it gonna be? Which one? Which one is it gonna be, guys? I want to know. Let me know. 1 or 2. Pick one. Yep, now that you're in, you're all good to go. You're free now. You can lurk in my Discord and do stupid shit. Just don't do a badger and drop occasional racial slurs in there that I have to delete. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not gonna do it, but Badger's a bit of a fucking retard. So we have Quantum TV or Dreamcast guy, because Game Pass is screwed, right? Wait a minute. Did I not turn it off? Did I not? Shoo, there we go. So now, chat, I need the three of you to decide which one is it going to be. This big boy or this meth addict? I want to know. J-Tech? I need to go find this shit on Twitter. I could actually go look at some of his streams, but the streams are kind of gay. I don't want to sit through like hours trying to find the best part. You know what, fuck it, we ball. We'll do the quantum stuff. We'll watch him try to take down my channel, bro. It's 2 minutes, it won't take too long.
So with a video like this, I'm not even gonna dignify getting out of bed or even remotely trying for a topic like this. For my regular...
Wow, that's so messed up. How could you do that line? You're like, oh, J-Tech. Like, come on, we both know they're black. You don't need to, like, assume one is the same guy as the other. Come on, that's a bit racist. Nah, I'm fucking with you. We all make mistakes.
Regular viewers, stay tuned for the next video. Now, to address the Review Tech USA deleting of his entire account after literally all the crap he's done to other people and whatever, all I could say is this: I don't really wish for anybody's downfall, and if he's got something going on with him, it doesn't involve
Didn't you
me.
say that you want people to kill themselves for liking Elden Ring?
To respond to his debacle, but really, he still has his other channel. I imagine he would still be posting there. I can't tell you. I honestly don't really care. And I think the
You don't
amount
care?
of people that are trying...
I mean, yeah, you don't care, but you still cared enough to make a response, right? Like, yeah, I understand that, but, you know, you're the same fucking guy that went out there and told people to kill themselves over Elden Ring. So I don't know about you, champ, but I think you have some investment in this, and of course, you probably did it to get some views, because let's see, did this review well? I mean, then again, 3K is pretty good, and I mean, I don't know how much money he made from that. I wonder, what is he doing? Oh, hell yeah, more quality time with a chicken, bro.
Trying to get a reaction out of me particularly is annoying, and this video is just to say, like, if he's got a low moment, right? Let's say he's having some sort of meltdown or emotional time in his life, don't kick him out when he's down, man. Like, honestly, yeah, sure, he was a dick, and he did a lot of really fucked up shit, but honestly, forgive him anyway, because that's just what God would want you to do anyway. Like, who am I to judge? You know what I mean? Like, he's got his own reasons for doing shit. I don't have to agree or like how he was, but at the end...
You know, I'll give Quantum some, like, credit here. At least he's trying to be what I would consider the bigger man, even though he's a woman basher, so, well, I don't know if that actually... Is it confirmed? I wouldn't remember. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, because that could be a bit... get me in trouble, but, you know... He did some pretty mean things, but somehow he's able to be the bigger man, unlike Review Tech. That's kind of crazy. No, I don't know how the fuck you can do that, bro. Quantum went from being an absolute fucking retard, striking everyone down to being the bigger man here. That's crazy.
At the end of the day, I'm not rooting for the man to fail. And I think if, you know, he can recover from whatever he's going through or whatever, God bless him, man. Like, just leave the man alone. Again, I know it's one of those things people want me to freaking laugh and antagonize.
You know, I'll give him credit. This isn't really much, but it's just him saying, you know, it's kind of crazy that he's being the bigger man. Weird shit. No more consoles. Hello. Don't care. I'm the Dreamcast guy. You stink, Quantum. Actually, no. Before we continue, I'll go quickly take a piss. You guys look at this beautiful, methed up man. I'll be right back. Bro, the IRS absolutely stinks. And I love it. On to Dreamcast, guys, shall we?
Currently running the biggest gamble in all of video game history. They're literally paying billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, literally, to try and successfully pivot from the current model of games where there's an upfront cost or free to play with microtransactions. And they're trying to make a Netflix model.
But there's always a gamble, Dreamcast guy. Whenever you release a game, you don't know if it's going to sell well. Of course, it could be an estate. Like, there's so many variables. It's always a gamble. Is this a game that people want to see? Look at Concord. Sony spent a shit ton of money on that, but yet they gambled and made literally no money. So I don't know about you, mate. Every release is a gamble. Because you need to know, well, you can kind of tell if people want that game or not. So I don't know why you're trying to speak up like, oh, this is a big gamble. Everything's a gamble when you're trying to sell a product. Do people actually want it? Do people need it?
Game Pass has been a very big bet, and I think it's all about to collapse. The early numbers are beginning to sort of leak out about how many people are getting Game Pass for Call of Duty, and they're not great. But let's talk, because I do truly believe that this is the end for Xbox as we currently know it, and we're going to take a look at some numbers to explain why. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So, Black Ops is about to come out. Black Ops 6. Technically, some people have already started to play it. You can technically play it via access, via Game Pass, or buying it on Friday. Right now, some people, though, are doing the thing where you can switch your Xbox to saying you're in New Zealand. So
isn't that bannable now? If I'm correct, it's bannable to do that. I know, I tried to do that sometimes when games were releasing, but I never was able to get it working.
Technically, you can play it right now. And I will admit, as a person that played the Black Ops 6 beta, I really, really enjoyed it. I actually think the new omnidirectional
I haven't played
movement
Call of Duty in ages, bro.
Every
Only
single
old
direction
games.
at the same speed. It's an interesting mechanic. I'm not sure how much my old man nerves will be able to keep up with a lot of these whippersnappers, but I give them credit.
Ew, just munch down on some meth, you big bastard, and then there you go. You got yourself a winning formula for you. You got yourself a strategy.
For constantly trained to evolve the classic Call of Duty formula. But I have said multiple times this year that
there is a reason games feel stale now. Well, yeah, there's many reasons. A lot of games are just safe, like you said. There's just so many things that make it a very safe, stale experience compared to the 360 and early generations for Xbox One. Jesus Christ. Early time for Xbox One and PS4. Most games are trying to innovate or stand out or be unique. Most games aren't trying to do that now. And when games are, they usually go above and beyond when succeeding, for the most part. But yeah, I think you pretty much get it.
This is the final big hurrah. This is the big bet. All these acquisitions that Microsoft has been doing now for the last 10 years. The Bethesda deal, buying Call of Duty for $69 billion. This stuff is supposed to bolster Game Pass. It's pretty obvious. Phil Spencer's talking about it. Satya Nadella, the head of Microsoft. These people are very explicit.
Did he just say Nutella? Isn't it? I forgot what's her last name. It isn't Nutella. You know, it's a bit funny that he said it that way. Chocolate. Food. Maybe even a bit of protein, bro. That's what we need.
Explicitly stating the purpose of these purchases is to make Game Pass finally profitable. I mean, the whole idea is that instead of selling you a single $60 or $70 game, you'll subscribe to their service for $20 a month, and while in the short end they lose money, it pays off in the big end, right? Well,
don't they make like hundreds of millions? Because what? Well, that's not including Xbox Live Gold or whatever they call it now. Actually, no, it's Game Pass Core. So wouldn't that be like a lot of money now, purely because they're paying? What is it? How many people are there? There's like I think they said like 30 million people in total, because you have Game Pass, you have Xbox Live Gold rolled into that, and so it's like we'll assume 15 million people maybe. And each person's paying that 20 a month. That's a lot of money to be handed every month from people that want those games on Game Pass. I don't know about you, but I think Game Pass is profitable. I would hope.
Numbers are beginning to come out, and they're not great. 2.5 million to possibly 4 million new Game Pass subscribers. This is abysmally bad. Now, some people are kicking around whether or not.
What, for one game? That's pretty good. Especially if they stay subscribed for a month, because they did get rid of the $1 thing, so you would expect them to at least pay the $20 for Ultimate, or how much it costs to get this one now. I personally don't use Game Pass, so I wouldn't know what it is now. You've been around since the Atari and NES? That's crazy. You're an old man. Old man.
Not these numbers are legit, if they're good expectations. One of the quotes is by Michael Pachter, and a lot of people really like to mock it because Michael Pachter at one point, even his predictions a lot of times when it comes to Xbox have been at times really, really off. A couple of years back, Michael Pachter predicted that by 2028 there would be 100 million Game Pass subscribers. Here we are in 2024, and the numbers continue to drop. But even by his own expectations, his own predictions here, he's essentially saying that it sounds like Call of Duty is going to bring in some new people, but it's also going to lose a lot of profit.
Well, yeah, it's going to bring in some new people. You're paying for a game, well, a bunch of games for like $20. Well, depending on where you are, it could be regionally different, but $20 US? That's not bad to play all these games, right? Especially if you're only going to play for a week, you get a big discount on this. So they've clearly either made some money from you, and instead of spending 70 on a game that you may not like at all, you just pay the 20, play as much as you want, then give up or play other games while you're using that service before your month's up. What's the issue here? You're not just using Game Pass to play COD, of course. Most people might want to jump on for that. But you can play any other game you so desire. Just because one game is on there doesn't mean you can't use any other games on there. You know, it's just fucking crazy that this dinosaur doesn't understand that.
Profit. In the article itself, they're pretty explicit about the fact that this is probably going to get 2.5 completely new people who have not had Game Pass to sign up for it, but it's also going to end up costing them probably around 6 million cells. Now, this is extra bad because...
Well, they're probably going to make up for MTX, right? Like, microtransactions are everywhere in COD, and they pay like $20 for a singular skin. I wouldn't actually, probably around $20, but a shit ton of money for skins, right? So I don't really see the issue. Because if they don't stick around for the game itself, but they buy a couple of microtransactions, they've made that $70, hopefully, if someone wants to waste that money. But for some reason, people keep forgetting the microtransaction part, that COD makes probably billions of dollars through that. So if he's forgetting about that, it just kinda... Like, that's the big thing that people need to put together when looking at COD. If it's on Game Pass, people may only pay the 20, but never forget the microtransactions if people want those skins. You can look at it in so many other ways, where they could make up for that lost revenue if people aren't going to buy the game. I mean, that is true. Do they realize that people want to buy COD will go buy COD? Yeah. Like, I don't know, one thing that kind of just confuses me, right, is that a lot of these people try to say, like, oh, Game Pass is going to kill it. Like, if you're going to buy the game, you still have the option to buy the game. You're not just streaming it in that alone. It's kind of crazy that a lot of these people keep forgetting that the option to buy a game is still there. Like, yeah. And then on top of that, it's available on, PlayStation and PC as well. And I've seen a lot of PlayStation fanboys go on, Twitter tape, like, oh, it didn't beat Helldivers max concurrent players. It's like, well, no shit. If you're including everyone else, it probably would easily stomp it out, because it's COD. COD's always going to be popular. Well, maybe. Depending on how much the quality goes up and down through the games.
You could just theoretically subscribe for 1 month, play it for a bit, and then cancel the service, right? I think that's what most people are going to do. So even these new signups, probably not the best sign. And a lot of people are chiming in on this, saying, okay, well, if you're just subscribing for that, that seems not too bad, but how many of these people are actually going to stay subscribed? How many of these...
Well, I don't know. How many do you think will stay subscribed? Because you're not just using Game Pass to play Call of Duty, yeah, you're using it to play other games on there as well. It's more than just a Call of Duty thing. And like I said earlier, you can also buy microtransactions and all that to make up for that revenue. Like, there are so many ways that people can look at this and say, well, do I want to keep the game? Well, I don't want Game Pass anymore, but I want to buy Call of Duty. They could just do that. There are so many ways you can look at this. I had Game Pass on PC for a while. Still bought some games. Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it, right? When I use Game Pass, if there was a game that I really liked, I'll just go buy a copy of it. So if I ever lose my Game Pass, I can still play the game. I did that with a couple indie games that I enjoyed playing.
These people that are currently checking it out are going to stick around. This was always the whole point of these acquisitions, is going, okay, it's a gateway drug, right? I mean, Game Pass does have hundreds and hundreds of games of it. Current stuff, back catalog. The purpose has clearly from the very beginning been, all right, subscribe for a particular game. You're excited for Indiana Jones, or you're...
No, that was not what Game Pass was. Game Pass was subscribing for a value of a bunch of games. Subscribe for like a monthly price of how much was it at the beginning? Like $10, $15, and you get a shit ton of games, including first-party games. The point was is that you're getting a value for all the games that you could be getting. That was the whole reason why Game Pass existed. That was their idea. At least that's how I look at it. You go on there, you get a bunch of value games. Well, okay, don't need to pay full price for COD. Well, I'll go play it on Game Pass. You save money. That was the whole reason. Because games are getting more and more expensive, and no one really gives a shit about those prices of games anymore. Like, bro, who the fuck wants to pay $70 for COD? I wouldn't.
You're excited for Hellblade, or you like to play Sea of Thieves with your friends, you subscribe for one game, and maybe you'll install something else. You'll want to stay in our ecosystem because it's got this big, instantly accessible library. It's sort of the net.
Real talk. When are they going to add Game Pass? Ugh. Ugh. It's giving me that wide eye, bro. That's kind of cute, Dreamcast guy. Come here. I'm taking that. I'm stealing that cute face of yours. Ugh. When are they going to add Game Pass to fucking Steam, bro? People need that. Like, I would actually kind of use it again if it has good value on there, because they've got other services on there, like, what is it, EA Play and Ubi Plus, right? I think they have it on there. I know they have one of them. But when is it going to come back? I want it on Steam. I want to get easy Microsoft points for just paying for Game Pass. People like this schmuck don't realize that the value of Game Pass is to get a taste of the games that, yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, now Game Pass, I wouldn't really say has a good value anymore, because at least for me, I lost interest in it around like a year or two ago, and I was like, you know what, the games there aren't really good. There aren't a bunch of new first-party games in there. They were still doing day and date, but they never released stuff like Fable and all that at that time, so I was like, you know what, I'm not really interested in staying with it. Most of the indie games don't really interest me, nothing else. Like, that's the problem with Game Pass. If they just kept a consistent value of new releases of games, big games on it, I'm sure it would still be successful. Or even more successful. You brought BO6 for 70 shekels? That's crazy. You're having a blast. I mean, hey, if it's worth your money. Me personally, I wouldn't pay that for it. I'm not a big COD fan anymore. Like, I still play the originals, of course, like BO2 and BO3, but that's it. I haven't played any of the newer ones except 2019 that one time. And that's it. I don't know, none of the new CODs interest me. I'm not really into shooters anymore. I'm into wasting my life on a shitty game called War Thunder.
Netflix model, right? You sign up to watch a particular show of Great British Bake Off or some new movie or whatever, and then once you like that, you keep scrolling. You keep finding new stuff, so you stay with the service. But the problem is that with Game Pass, it really doesn't seem like that's the case. It does seem like Game Pass, for whatever reason, continues to bleed subscribers like crazy.
Well, yeah. It's because they're not really offering anything until, I would say, 2025 or late 2024, until they actually give you actual value for Game Pass. That's the issue. They need to be more consistent with their big releases to keep people engaged, but Microsoft doesn't seem to have a, I would say, strong enough roadmap to show off, hey, look, we got these games coming out. Like, we've waited years for Fable. That's an example that I will always use. They've been promoting Fable and all that for years now, and we've been waiting for it, and we're only going to probably get it next year, if they don't delay it again. That's the issue. They need to be very consistent with their games. They need to do 3-year development cycles with a lot of their games, and then there you go. You will have a stable thing, keeping people interested at all times, but they don't seem to do that. If you want Game Pass to succeed, just keep consistent with good quality games coming out, but they don't want to do that. I don't know why, but they should.
This is an article from 8 months ago that I saw a lot of people discussing, which is that Game Pass claimed earlier this year they've grown to 34 million subscribers.
God, as a multiplayer is too frustrating.
Are actually pointing out, okay, well,
I'm a big fan of the stories in single player. Fair.
This is technically a bit of a white lie that Microsoft
I like zombies
because they're converting. Used to, there was just Xbox Live Gold. There was like the lowest tier where people were just signing up to have online multiplayer, right? The lowest tier of Xbox Live was just, all right, you could play online and nothing else. And then there was Game Pass, which actually allowed you to play the games. But now it's all different forms of Game Pass. Now there's Game Pass Core instead of Xbox Live Gold. Now instead of having Game Pass Ultimate, now we have different...
They really should have kept it simple and had the, normal Game Pass tier, then Game Pass Ultimate, then Xbox Live Gold. Oh wait, no, that's how it was. Xbox Live Gold, normal Game Pass Ultimate. That's literally all it should be. They should not be adding any more tiers to Game Pass, because it just makes it more and more confusing. If they kept it simplistic, people would probably, I would say, maybe would be a little bit more enticed to go to Game Pass. But with all these different options and incentives, including the price of $20 a month, that's a bit expensive for Game Pass, I would say. I would be more than willing to pay like 17. Maybe, well, if it was still 15, absolutely. I think that would be an absolute steal. But they keep increasing the price, but I don't think that's going to change. I don't think they're ever going to decrease the price on it. It's going to be some time unless the economy gets actually good, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
Different tiers of standard. I can't even remember. There's so many different tiers of Game Pass. I can't even remember. So technically, while this does look good on paper, they've not grown in 2 years. Now, what's funny is that because this article is now a couple months ago, the amount of Xbox, I'm not going to say fanboy, but a lot of these people are saying, oh man, I can't wait till Call of Duty gets announced, and they grow to over 40 million. I mean, it's funny to see these big astronomical numbers. I think it's also...
I mean, an extra 5 million people I wouldn't say is necessarily a bad number. I would expect that, honestly. Because if you look at COD's a very popular thing, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to save money instead of buying the game outright, especially if they're going to spend money on microtransactions. Saving money wherever you can do you well. So I wouldn't see it's out of the realm of possibility for them to get an extra 5 million people. But will we know? I don't know if Microsoft will ever talk about it, so maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe Phil Spencer will tell us something.
Someone down here also saying it'll probably break 50 million. Like, I respect these people's optimism, but at the same time, I think that this is the big final hurrah. I've been saying this for months, and I'm going to double down on this prediction. This was supposed to be the home run, the big gambits. This was supposed to be that chance for them to actually buy their way into the industry. Microsoft has trillions of dollars. Nobody else has as much. So they are able to make the big experimental moves that other companies just simply can't afford. Like,
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Thank you for telling us something that we know about a $1 trillion company that can just buy everything. Wow, thank you. Appreciate it. I do appreciate your input, Dreamcast guy. I really do. So fucking hot, I swear.
I'll be honest, it's pretty obvious. I mean, Sony could never, ever, ever try something this big because Sony needs the PlayStation to sell. They need PlayStation exclusives to sell. If you're one...
What exclusives? There's only like Bloodborne left. They're moving all their stuff to PC now purely because they want to make more money. It gives them more opportunity to spread their wings as such. I think, you can play Rebirth on there now. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. I don't think fan. But I've never played those games, so, maybe they're not selling well. But, actually, no, because they hit around, 10,000 people, and then again, they're single-player games, so they probably had a couple million people, and they're all just going to play at different times. It could work. A lot of people try to say that they're not selling well or not doing good on Steam. But then you turn around and see all these people 10,000 people isn't good enough. And it's like, well, that's a single-player game. You can just play it whenever you want. You don't need to be rushed into it like a multiplayer game. So I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people want to believe, holy shit, that these games are going to only succeed if they're exclusive or sold on this platform or have to do really good at launch, not taking into consideration all these different factors about the games. If it's an online game, always online, then it has to do well at launch to maintain a good player base. Look at Halo Infinite as an example. Halo Infinite didn't necessarily, well, it did incredibly good at launch, but once people realized that it's missing all the features that made Halo good, people left it straight away. And there's only a couple thousand playing.
Wondering why it is that so many PlayStation games manage to sell so much. It's because they polish them, they internally test them. It seems like they're really
They don't
obsessed
polish them.
with
Look at
making sure
Spider-Man
they
2.
reach
That shit's
market
crazy bad.
expectations, so you keep wanting to play it. Other than Concord, you know, of course there are bad
Ew,
PlayStation
Concord,
games, but it does
yucky.
seem like Metacritic-wise they aim for the fences, and they usually get there. Microsoft's attempt to really shift change to make it so everybody is at least tempted to try the Netflix model, I think it's flopped. I predicted about 3 months ago that this would be the lowest selling Call of Duty in the last 10 years. I think this game is not going to flop, but I think you're going to see a lot of headlines saying it underperformed. It had the lowest fan base, the lowest concurrent players.
I don't know. Has the COD flopped yet? I actually haven't checked any of the numbers. I personally don't care for COD, so maybe someone can confirm if that's true or not now that the game has released. Is Dreamcast guy wrong or right?
It's the lowest amount of people interested in it. And it's weird because I think this is a good COD. I think they actually decided to do something different, and it succeeded in the short term. But a good game doesn't always mean big bucks. But tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Does this stuff actually interest you? I'm always fascinated by
Nope, it didn't succeed, or nope, it wasn't profitable. I need a bit more context. You got any more substance? I need to know. I'm gonna move my mic there so it's better close to my face, so I can fucking hump the mic with my voice. Like, I'm not sure if it sold well or not. I personally don't know, so I couldn't necessarily tell them. Anyway, onto Twitter. What are you doing up here? Shoo. What are you doing here? Where's Baldur's Gate, actually? We'll look at that now. Look at that. Baldur's Gate's doing incredibly well. Then where's Black Ops? Look at that. 200,000 people right now. That's not bad. I would expect it to be talking out of his ass. Fair. I mean, he normally does. I think I saw a tweet from, what is it, Fratanga, telling him how he talks out of his ass and providing proof. I forgot what it was. We'll see if we can find it on Twitter. Whoopsies. Look at that. That's selling pretty well. Let's see. What are the reviews like? Because I think it's just lumped in. No, it's mixed. I think, oh no, this is lumped into the other CODs, isn't it? So it might just have all the reviews from everyone else. What are people saying? I'm sure people are playing it right now. Recent reviews. Can we check a graph for recent reviews? Here we go. 700. Call of Duty version, blah blah blah. Good. Black Ops 6 is perfect. Doubt. I don't think it's gonna be perfect. It was a decent game. Personally, I'll give it a 6.5. There's too much Warzone stuff in zombies to make it feel different. No, positive stuff would be a 6. Fair enough. Just not worth 80 euros. Ooh, 80 euros. Ooh, Jesus Christ, that's expensive. Pre-ordered, Vault Edition, got everything else except the Woods Operator. Fair enough. Give me back my Woods. Fair. I feel BCG never adds anything of value to any of the well, yeah, of course, because I wouldn't say he's like a slop content creator. He pumps out these videos incredibly fast and doesn't necessarily think about what he's saying. Shader cache issues, my favorite. Don't you love that in new games though? Yeah, we're gonna do caches for your game, see how they go, and then they fucking do it. Like Dragon's Dogma does that shit all the time, bro. It's so annoying. Whenever I'm playing, oh, you gotta update the game, gotta do another cache for like a whole 10 minutes. So much fun. Because I've heard there's, I think I heard, what is it? I watched Griffin's video on the new COD shit, and he said the campaign was absolute ass, and the COD HQ is kind of fucking annoying. That's like the only thing I know, since he's a big COD fanboy. Or a COD enjoyer, if you want to say that. Maybe one day we could, ooh, funny. Hell yeah. Let's see. Game's great, movement and guns, maps feel great. Never felt this. Good playing COD since BO4. I'm going to read some of the negative reviews. I want to have a look at those as well. See if we can get what people are complaining about. Why do you combine everything into a launcher? Yeah, isn't that fun? We love having external launchers that don't work. Please. Black Ops Time to Kill is so fast. Well, yeah, it's a COD game. Did not like. Zombies didn't even work. BO6 basically messed up the game. They could have added 400 hours. So many glitches. Not even worth playing. Fair enough. It seems like people are both mixed. Like, some people like it, some of them don't. That's kind of what I'm gathering from this. Personally, will I play it? No. On to Twitter. Hell yeah. Let's see if he loves me. Come on, champ. Do it. Do it. We'll keep an eye on this again. Come on, champ. You know you want to. Anyway, let's have a little gander. Excuse me, is that what I think it is? No, I thought it was a Nexus mod thing. Damn, unlucky. Damn, are they really running this shit still? Bro, that's crazy that they're still talking about this shit. Just for reference. What's this? Is this from Digital Foundry? Hey, look, it's me streaming. Oh no, who's this? Ew. The new block system is just fair. Great, and Sala, how you doing? Hell yeah, it's gaming for everyone. Champ's always good. What are the replies to him? Bro, frame drops are horrible. Screen tear, freezing frames. I mean, screen tear is fucking disgusting. I hate that shit. Shit pisses me off. Oh, hell yeah. Kamala video, bro. Oh yeah, that's why she was getting fucking booed on stage, bro. Yeah, she got what she fucking deserved. Shitter. Astrobot is a better game, both from PlayStation. Yes. Yes, because it matters where the game is as long as it sells well. That's all that matters to these companies, Xvolt, you fucking bald bastard. Xvolt pisses me off. I swear. This retard. You know, he wants to go watch Xvolt videos. We'll go have a quick gander at what this fucking creature's posting now. Let's go have a look. Give me a second. We'll go pull up his shit. Damn, this shit's crazy. Look at this shit, bro. What does this have to do with Xbox fanboys, bro? Embarrass themselves crying over the PS5 Pro. He made a 23-minute video. Bro, I'm kind of curious what some of this shit is. We need to actually watch them. What do you want to watch? You want to watch Xbox, this one, or this one? Which one is it going to be? Cry over the PS5 Pro, or the success of the PS5? What's new in the land of Twitter? Well, nothing. It's just people talking about COD. Like, that's pretty much it. Stellar Blade is honey on PS, better Black Ops. No idea. Nah, I guarantee they're gonna bring that. Hell yeah. Good man, Josh, doing the Lord's work. This shit right here, like I said earlier, fucking peak. I like that shit. That shit looks cool. If that ever comes to PlayStation, bro, that would be so fucking sick if they put that on PlayStation, bro. That looks so fucking good. Just more BS. I care for the good shit. Damn right. So, I guess we'll look at this one first. Watch this. I guarantee ads are gonna happen as soon as I click on this video, bro. I was lied to. No
Gaming
ads.
Video, Xvault here, and yes, this is your second dose of the salty batch files for the week. And of course, we got that.
Shut
salt
up,
coming
Xvault.
through. Bear with me. I'm still sick, still pounding through it here. So
Good champ.
Let's get the first example up from here. So we have him stating PlayStation is third-party Spider-Man 2 coming to PC January 2025.
No, what's wrong with that? He's right. It's third party, just like how Xbox is third party. Also, I just want to quickly piss off anyone in the chat. That's from Dungeon Defenders, right? I don't care what anyone says. It's not Final Fantasy. It's Dungeon Defenders, bro. I don't care. I hope I piss off people that last saw that video. I got fucking flamed in the comments for saying that, bro. That shit was funny. I mean, then again, I was wrong.
So he states that PlayStation is third party.
They are.
What he's doing here is showing the salt, finding any W he can try and muster here, of course. The great part about this is, no, PlayStation is not as third party as what Xbox is.
Oh, that's right. My bad. My bad. They're not as third party. Oh shit. Oh fuck. I didn't know there was like a tier list to this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. There's a tier list of what could be third party. Ooh. Bro, you can't be serious. They're not as third. They're third party. They're putting their games on another platform. Like, yeah, you are somewhat correct by saying that they're not as third party. But they're still third party. They're still putting their games on PC. Who gives a shit? They're third party.
Don't see Spider-Man, God of War, etc., etc., going over to a competing platform like Xbox. That's where
PC is a competing platform. They maybe they won't bring it to Xbox as soon as Xbox would bring their games to PlayStation, but I feel like they will eventually. Money is money. Money speaks more than anything to any of these companies.
where the concern should be. I don't see that even going to the Nintendo Switch as far as a first-party game.
Bro, they can't even fucking grab the game, bro. The Steam Deck can't even, well, I mean, it can kind of run God of War. Actually, no, because they were ported really well, so maybe they could run God of War on the Steam Deck, but I don't know about the Nintendo Switch. It would depend on their hardware, of course, but maybe years down the line when the Nintendo Switch 3 comes out or some shit, they'll probably do it. Work out every day. Man does not look like he works out. I won't lie. I've been working out for like the last year. I don't really look, well, I mean, you can kind of tell that I work, and I look much slimmer from what I was, because I lost like, 25 kilograms worth of weight in a matter of a year. Well, 6 months roughly, my bad, because I was taking it more seriously around the end of that year. And my ass is finally going to a gym tomorrow, and I was like, I'm sick of like, sitting here doing the same shit every day. Let's go use the shit at the gym. I've never been to a gym, I've never used any of the equipment, so it shouldn't be that hard to use them. You just gotta sit in the right form. I just realized I paused that at a very wrong time. He looks kind of fucking creepy, bro. Look at that. Look how cute he looks, bro. That's crazy. He looks like he's gonna fucking touch me, bro. It's fucking cute. Look at him. He looks happy with himself. Need to lose about 50. Fair. I mean, honestly, it wasn't really hard to lose weight, I won't lie. You just need to eat better, eat a little bit less, and then just do the workouts that you do. I mainly burnt a lot of the calories and all that through jogging, because I can jog pretty good now. I think I can do around, maybe 2.3 kilometers worth. Like, I think I can pass the basic training very easily now, but I want to make sure that I can prep my body for the future. Maybe he works out in his head. Hell yeah, bro. He's doing that grind set, bro. I mean, honestly, he probably does work out. He maybe just doesn't work on what he's eating. He doesn't eat his fucking veggies and meat. Also, pro tip for anyone working out, eat kangaroo meat. It's got the highest amount of protein and the least amount of fat of any red meat. I should say per 100 kilograms. Grams, holy shit.
Yes, we can bring up Lego Horizon, but that is a Legoized game, and again, drawing from that power and so forth. But
it doesn't matter. It's a PlayStation IP going to another platform as third party. Fucking spastic. I miss the air for PT he used to do. 2-mile runs, yeah. In about 16 minutes, that's not bad. I think I can run around, because I have a Fitbit, and I think, well, it probably does the time correct, but not the actual pace of what you do correctly, because I don't have any of the GPS stuff on, so it doesn't tell me correctly. I think I'm able to go about 600 meters in under, like, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Like, I'm not saying that's, like, a fast pace or anything, but that was, like, me going uphill. going about 600 meters. Because because I usually go my route when I'm jogging, it's all uphill, so I'm pretty impressed with what I can do. And then one day when I decided to go like a relatively straight, somewhat downhill, I was able to do a 2.3 kilometer, which would be around like 2 miles roughly. So I think, what is it, 1.2 kilometers is roughly that, a mile.
This is just a really sad and pathetic attempt to be like, look, not only does Xbox suck, but we want PlayStation to suck too, in the ways that Xbox has been sucking and lacking in many
The chair force, bro, chair force was peak. You know what I mean? I used to take the piss out of people that I used to go to school, because he wanted to go into the Air Force, right? We always used to take the piss out of him. You know, you got the Navy, a bunch of men stuck in a tube, well, a bunch of seamen stuck in a tube. You got the Marines, they're gay, or the infantry is gay. Then you got the chair force, the lazy bastards that don't do anything, you know, the optimal grind set.
Factors and showing value to its ecosystem in regards to exclusives and reasons to own into that ecosystem as far as hardware is concerned.
Nah, because I'll say this, though, because my goal in the military was go into the infantry for 4 years, then I think, what is it, you do your re-enlistment, because it's like America's military, where every 4 years you have to re-enlist or take your oath again, and then when I do that, I'll head into the special forces, because by that time, I'm hoping that I'm ready for it, because I'm not going to go on fucking butt naked with no preparation. Then eventually go leave the special forces after maybe 8 years of service in that group. If I don't get my legs blown off or anything, then become a Fed. But mainly I want to become a Fed for the Americans, because in Australian politics, the Americans tell us what to do whenever they want, whenever they need to, so I'd rather work for them, the actual puppet masters, not the puppets. And plus, I have made sure that they do actually take outsiders into the organization, holy shit. But yeah, they do. They like to hire outside contractors.
Egg on your face yet again. This is a pretty pathetic attempt to try and find a W, and you look like a moron yet again. So continue to do these, because we have to showcase how much of an idiot you are. But
here we go.
Back in 203, what, you a serviceman? Bro, cheeky bastard. Nah, you got that Medal of Honor grind set, don't you? I don't know. I wouldn't say that most of my family was servicemen, but most of my family goes back to, like, World War II and all that, and military service. Even before that, I can date my family lineage back to 10th century. We've got our own family crest still, which is really cool. I'm very proud of my family history, but I've always, let's just say, enjoyed my time of my history and looked at how many servicemen we've had through all the years in the different militaries and militias.
Go again.
let's keep going, because we do have some good video examples today. So I want to get through these posts as well, but as you can see, moving down from the post, sheesh,
let's
I don't
go.
understand how you think it comes off as anything other than a desperate cope when you say stuff like this. So,
but I mean, well, yeah, we can all agree that he's an Xbox guy, but I wouldn't say that's a cope, because he's right, they're third party. Regardless, like, it doesn't matter if it's a PlayStation IP or not. Putting games on other platforms makes them third party, champ. Like, yeah, it's fucking cold. No, cold, retard. That's what he is. Fucking spastic. But that's the point, right? Like, yeah, we know why he's doing it, but he's correct. That's what I want to get at.
So again, it's not just me, it's many others in the comment section. It you know, and we're going to get to a video with Colt and Gaz as well here soon, and we'll kind of touch base on this a little bit more in the thick of it, right? So, it's...
Ew. 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 The KSI song. Ew. Actually, I was scrolling through Nexus mods recently, but someone grabbed the entire KSI song and made a replacer for all the Skyrim music just to play that song. That shit, I tried it out for 2 seconds, my brain couldn't handle it, bro. They even changed the main menu music. That shit was funny.
As you continue to keep going here as well, Light Nemesis, you think this is the same as Xbox releasing their exclusives on PlayStation, literally the competition, LOL. Exactly what I was stating, right? Luigi, the cope is an all-time high. Whatever makes you feel better about your Xbox. More facts. Nathan, imagine being this
yeah, facts. I wrote an article on the future of gaming, and I wonder if people like him are ready to see the end of the console wars. I agree. I'm sure most people don't want to see consoles disappear. Me personally, I don't want consoles to disappear, but I understand that eventually everything's just going to be a streaming service like Game Pass. Like, what Microsoft's doing now is just preparing themselves for the future. I don't think there's much way we can get around that. It's going to be cheaper for them, no actual physical hardware or anything needed to be produced. Maybe they might do some, niche stuff for those who actually still want to own it, maybe. But as time goes on, less and less people want to own consoles. You can already see it with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Most people are either moving to Nintendo Switch or PC. So, yeah, and I know some people actually got pissed at me saying, like, not everyone's moving to PC. It's like, I don't know about you, bro. PC's getting really big really quick now all of a sudden. A lot of people seem to take a very big interest in it in the last couple of years.
To try and justify your own company going third-party years ago. Exactly. And to the extent of third-party, right? Like I said, they're putting their first-party games on a competing platform.
And so are you. PC is the competing platform as well. It may not be Xbox, right? Well, I mean, PlayStation did port one of their main games to Xbox, but that's a fucking sports game, and I'm sure most people don't give a shit about sports games that much. I don't know. I would prefer to go outside and play sports. That's if I was a person that enjoyed sports. But for the most part, we need you to understand this, Xbox, because you don't seem to understand this in one fucking slight bit, bro. It doesn't matter if it's on Xbox or PC. PC is a competitor to PlayStation and Xbox, just like how they are to PC. It doesn't matter. If their games are going there, they're third party. It doesn't matter if you're trying to reach, they're more third party than this one. It's third party. Who gives a shit? Everyone gets to play your games.
If that doesn't scream, we're going full third party eventually, sooner than later, I don't know what does. If they,
Are you high? Isn't what Xbox is doing scream third party just like PlayStation does? Because eventually both of them will go full third party. It's what's going to happen. As much as you may not think that now, it's going to happen. Money is more important, and seeing more people play those games anywhere and everywhere is going to make them more money, regardless if their platform stops selling.
Rebuttal that, pull that back, if you will, to future state. That also looks bad. I don't see them doing that. That looks bad on Microsoft as well in regards to, well, again...
Honestly, I think the console war is pretty dumb. I agree. Competition is good, but making console versus console your personality is just sad. I know. It is kind of miserable. Like, I wish a lot of these people that defended these consoles were able to call out the same thing for their platform. Like, well, if Xbox is going third party, and they're putting their games on PlayStation... that must mean they're more third party than the other. They're both third party at the start of this purely because they're putting games on other platforms. And they can't acknowledge that fact, and it's fucking stupid.
Not that you could ever trust us on what we say, because we go and backtrack on everything, but we're going to continue to play these mind games with our fan base. But it speaks for itself, right? Let's keep going here. So, Ashtray Gaming here. This is another one here. Follower of his. Wolverine will probably end up on Xbox 2. Question marks everywhere is what I'm experiencing right now. I don't know where they got Spider-Man
There will
going
be.
to PC.
I don't know if it will be as soon as he might think it is. I think he's being a bit fucking stupid. I think we all know it doesn't mean it's going to be on Xbox 2, but, I don't know about him, mate. But I think it's going to be years in the future when they realize that they can just do something like streaming services and say, hey, here you go. But hey, us PC players can at least say that we played Wolverine before they did. I can't wait for them to get pissed off at that knowledge. If they didn't already, of course.
It means that Wolverine is going to Xbox in regards
Whoa,
to...
whoa, Silver, chill out. We don't call him X-Bold. No, that's mean. Most of us here have those receding hairline grind sets like me. I take personal offense to that. Nah, fuck X-Bold. He's a retard. Don't care if he's 40. We could fucking use his whole fucking head like a genie orb, bro. Who knows what type of secrets we could find.
The ex-Wolverine. But of course, Colt Eastwood, and I know he's kind of being satirical here a little bit, but it might be day and date or really soon at this point with the copium meme with Xbox. But the sad part is he really trying to be satirical, or does he truly believe this? Because everything out of his mouth is typically a lie for the most part. It's very rare that he speaks truthful. And again,
no shit.
This, but example after example, and I'm sorry, you have to play to your audience, and you stating that some part of your audience is going to latch onto that and be like, it's true, I'm running with it. Colt Eastwood said once again, even though Colt Eastwood has been wrong.
You have an i7 4790K. I actually don't know how good that is. I don't really know much about Intel stuff. I'm more of a NVIDIA. Jesus Christ, Ryzen, sorry. And then RTX 4060. I've got a 4060 Ti of 16GB RAM. 650 watt PSU, not bad. I went for a, I think, what, wasn't 1000 watts, so I can leave it later for expansion. I have a 4060, but I might switch it out to a 4090. Maybe. I mean, I don't necessarily need, maybe a 4080 would be more reasonable. But I would like to get a 16 gigabyte, because they don't do a 4080 Ti Super, do they? I know one of them is both a Super and a Ti, or some shit. I don't know if it's the 40 series. I think it's just a Super. 4th gen. Yeah, pretty decent. Because I use a Ryzen 7 X3D. That's it. Because I like my game and shit. Well, yeah, that's not bad. You can get a lot of mileage out of that. Because plus, you got a 4060, so you can access all the new features, all the cool shit. I wish I knew a little bit more about PC, but for the most part, I know how to use most of the parts I do and how to put them all together, so I can't necessarily sit there and complain.
Times for years and years and years, but they're gonna latch onto it. More damage, hurting the brand.
Yo, GP, holy shit, holy shit. That's crazy. I mean, I haven't heard of that before, right? But that's fucking old as shit, bro. That's crazy. Like, well, I haven't heard of it, but I can tell that's a pretty old fucking piece, because, you know, you live in a completely different part of the world that may not have access to the stuff that we do in the West. So that's crazy.
Gone over this
big upgrade.
Before, but let's move on to another moron here, if you will. We got a
moron
from this guy, and he's
Let's go,
probably gonna
champ.
be making the rounds a little bit more on this channel because, man, talk about another delusional person here. Clute.
Delusional.
What if, thinking emoji, Xbox were to continue acquiring major publishers like Take-Two, Sega, and Bandai Namco? But that meant they're going full multi-platform instantly. GTA 6, NBA 2K, Mafia, Old Country, Borderlands, Persona 6, Elden Ring 2, all launch day 1 into Game Pass and Xbox.
I mean, I don't think they're going to acquire any of these. Sega, I don't know. Maybe they could. Bandai Namco, probably not. I don't think Bandai Namco really wants to sell. Take-Two, I think they've had the notion of wanting to sell. I don't remember. But I know some of these companies do. From Software won't go with Bandai Namco. They want to be independent. I know that for a fact, because I remember them saying it straight... Oh, shit, sorry. In an article, straight to our face, saying, we want to be independent. We don't want to be beholden to anyone. We want to self-publish. So I think this is just kind of a shit post. This genuinely is a fucking idiot for saying that. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I don't think it ever will. Maybe I could be wrong. Microsoft does like to pull their weight with their money.
James, I like the rhetorical portion of this here. What if, thinking emoji, you had a brain? Exactly.
What if?
This doesn't make sense if they were to do that. Again, whether they went full...
Bro, that was an absolute fucking zinger. What if you had a brain? Damn, that was crazy, man. I'm loving it here. Come on, X-File, give us some more interest. You know, maybe I'll skip a little bit ahead.
Fully pass. I'm sure it will. That'd be crazy if it did not at this point. But it's just the fact that if the ABK deal barely went through, you're going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, Take-Two, Sega, and Bandai Namco. That's all coming as well, guys, because we're going third party. That
was easy.
If they did, great. You're rooting for a company only at that point, as far as like a company. It has nothing to do with hardware, where you spend your time, ecosystem, resources, money, and all that stuff as well. I mean, that negates the point. Completely negates the point. That's so weird. The thought process up here. Again, I'm not sitting there...
I don't get what the issue is.
Is my primary console, because that's where I have the most invested there. I have the most trust there that they're not going third party, that they're still...
What's the problem with that? What's the problem with them going third party? I'm just gonna repeat it again. They're already third party. I'm sorry, champ. They put their platform... sorry. Bad words. They put their games onto another platform. That will make them third party. They may not be completely as you said, but they're going there. There's no way around it, I'm sorry. It's just how it is. They're going to take the Microsoft approach because they want more money. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself again. I must apologize. But you get it. You can't just sit there and be like, Like, don't get me wrong, I have a shit ton of money invested into the Xbox platform, but I don't use my Xbox anymore. I have most of my stuff invested on PC, but I can guarantee you if I go look at my Xbox, I've got thousands of dollars worth of stuff on there that I probably won't ever bother buying here, or I'll need to emulate. Like, my For Honor progress is all stuck on console because there's no cross progression, and for some reason they thought it'd be really funny to do a fucking Destiny crossover. That shit was weird, bro.
Still going to be sticking around. If PlayStation was doing what Xbox is doing, I'm sorry, I see the red flag. I'm going to look at some other options, whether that be PC only, whether that be, you know, again, if PlayStation was doing what Xbox was doing, I would then probably, because I like the ease of use in the consoles, I would then have an Xbox as my primary preference platform. Simple as that. I don't understand why people are such diehard for companies, even though people think that I'm a corporate this and that for PlayStation when I just have
But
had
you
the
are.
trust implemented. Now, do they hit everything?
The trust, I don't know if I would necessarily trust them, bro. Not at least with account security. Definitely not, bro. And especially, because I think, what did they ask? For your government ID to create a account? I don't know if that's true or not. I forgot, actually. Holy shit, I'm losing my fucking mind. But I think they do ask you for some pretty important shit to create an account or hold up your security on your account. And I would never provide that stuff to them. Even a screenshot or anything, bro. Definitely not. You got too many games on PC. Well, I mean, you don't ever necessarily need to switch because Steam will have all your stuff. And even if Steam goes down, if people download the games, you just need to have your cloud saved somewhere. And I think they automatically save your cloud to your PC somewhere for the most of these games. Most old games, they don't have cloud saves, of course. I know. I love that about Dark Souls 1, don't you? It's great. But on console, they do. Genuinely suffering, bro. But mainly, if you can disable the files of these games, I'm sure if Steam was to ever go down years from now and it was no longer popular, you could still emulate and preserve all those games through creating a shitty version of a launcher. And, because, I mean, how do you do it now? There's a way that you can download files from, like, people's accounts and make them work on your account. It's so weird, but there's ways to preserve those games right now, if it ever comes to a point where you can't use any of those files anymore. A little side tangent, but I just thought I'd mention that, if that ever happens. 731 games on Steam alone? That's crazy. I feel like that's a relatively similar number to what I have on console, because I know I had around, like, 400 purchased games, and I think the rest of them were all from Xbox Live Gold. There was quite a lot of stuff that I had. A lot of stuff that I never finished playing, but, oh well.
Thing out of the ballpark all the time? Is everything a home run? Do they make mistakes, or do they never not make mistakes, or do they make mistakes?
You can pirate games? Yeah. But I mean, in a sense, I would like to see preservation for all these games, because a lot of these games will never be re-released. Like, we were pretty lucky to get a Command & Conquer re-release, right? That shit was crazy. Like, I never expected for them to come to Steam, right? All the games. The only one that isn't playable is Command & Conquer 4, but who would want to play that garbage game? That game stinks. But I'm happy that a lot of those games are coming there, because now they can be preserved, and people can take the files and do whatever they want. I need the mod Command & Conquer again, bro. That shit was kind of scary. I could fuck up my PC if I did it wrong. That shit was, that put me on edge when I did it.
Right. They do. They consistently do. Nobody's perfect. I don't latch onto the company. It sucks. I do not like when they make those mistakes. However, as far
But yet
as
you
the
never
most
criticize them,
trusted
X-Fault. Why is that?
an ecosystem, that's where I go. Simple as that. But let's continue on to his other portion here. So, if you expect 60 frames per second on a $299 machine, then you chose the wrong box. Then DDP, of course. They were sold at $300, but that was supposed to do everything the Series X could. This is true. This is what they touted, right? Microsoft did. Just at a lower resolution. $300 is still a lot of money, especially when you could have just got a PS5 for $100 more. Exactly. And get a significant upgrade across the board. Exactly. I have a video also.
It was $400? No, it wasn't. 400? No, because it was $750, just like the Series X. Am I wrong? Because both of them was $750 in Australia. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's correct here. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll need someone to actually confirm that in chat. Chat, do your job. Educate me right now. But to my knowledge, you mainly, I think you, yeah, I don't know. I mean, at that point, you could just get yourself a Nintendo Switch or a Series X or a Steam. No, Steam Deck's a bit more pricey, isn't it? You could just get anything. Like, I don't think, like, what the fuck's the point? I don't get what these people are going at for a fucking $399 machine, bro. It's a wicked console. You get the Series X as the main. Why the fuck do people think the Series X is such a bad the Series S is such a bad console, bro? You're paying for a weaker platform. Like, what are you expecting? These great performances? Like, yeah, I would hopefully expect 60 FPS, but then again, you're only paying $300 fucking for this thing, so maybe it won't even do it. The actual main console itself should do the 60 FPS and what it promised, right? They're not going to go out there and do the fucking PS5 or PS4 and promise like 8K, 60 FPS or whatever. Like, what the fuck does... Have you noticed that anyone actually uses Twitter here, but fucking, what is it? J-Dub goes out there and always says, oh yeah, it's going to be 60 FPS, 4K, and it never is. Shit's stupid. Got too many games on PC. Oh yeah, I already read that, sorry. I'll try to keep my fair. Yeah, that's fair enough.
So coming up here in just a minute.
I agree.
It kinda
Keep
goes
yourself
over this as
educated.
well a little bit in context to their new system for Xbox, the new model, if you will, for the Series X. But, I mean, he hit the nail on the head, DDP did here. So,
Whoopsies.
the lies and the lies and the lies and the parody clauses, and then they backtrack. Microsoft.
But yeah, I will give Microsoft shit from this, right? If you promised us, just like the PS5, and I presume the PS5 Pro also said 60 FPS, but these consoles and platforms perform and say that we're going to do 60 FPS, but yet they release a Pro model that is meant to do that 60 FPS that they promised for their original model, right? And even with the Xbox, if they don't do a Pro model or anything with it, or don't do a better version, it's like, what's the point in promoting that you're going to do 60 FPS on these platforms when he never did? I mean, in the case of Xbox, they did promise like 120 FPS. And yet most of those games, I think only old games can hit that, like For Honor as an example again. I think they're the only platform, well, game, sorry, shit, bad word again, that actually hits the 120 FPS mark that they originally set out. None of these newer games, sorry, that actually hit that stuff, to my knowledge, they only hit the 60 FPS at best.
Backtracking on those parity clauses with certain games because they want that money, because software sales means more income for them. The list goes on, folks. I mean, Clute is just... this guy, he's been around a little bit. I have not featured him much at all, if anything. But, again, he's going to have to be featured on this channel more and more because this sort of thing needs to be dissected. This sort of thing needs to be scrutinized. It needs to be... You know, it really needs to be researched, I think. And
yes, get on with it. We understand.
The sheepins, politics, whatever. You get one thing and people just latch on because, like, hey, that's what I like too. That's what I invested my time and money into. So I'm going to latch on to whoever says what, whenever, because that makes me feel better about what I'm supporting or choosing.
And you did that with, who's that, Mark Cerny? All of you latched on him like, oh yeah, we did like this cool thing and made a fucking PS5 Pro that gives you, and they have the zoom in and all that shit. Like, bro, you guys latch onto that fucking dumbass because somehow he's this great king that tells you exactly how it should go and how it would work. Like, the moment that you call out someone for what you just said, right, we can look at you and pull out your history and show you that you've done this exact same thing. Like, your awareness of what you've said in the past is fucking crazy, bro. Like, even I remember shit that I've said in the past that makes me look like a fucking idiot. Like, this shit's fucking dumb as hell, bro. You stinky bastard.
That's exactly what this is, to a T. To a T. That being said, let's move on to the videos here, because I do want to touch base. Now, let's roll back around to the first one again, right? Colt Eastwood. So here is a video of Colt Eastwood and Gaz. Take a look.
He's cool, man. He's a really nice guy.
He is. What people don't realize is he likes a little bit of fun here and there when it comes to like actual competition. Unfortunately, the leadership above him don't.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind this too much, but that resolution is crazy. I don't know what video downloader he used, but holy shit, I would try to get that as best as humanly possible, just so everything is readable on screen. Okay, actually no, maybe he screen recorded it. Ugh.
And when you talk about making content, I've been very inconsistent too, and I've tried a few things, like I want to cover multi-platform games and some other things that I think are really cool videos, and then they just don't really move because YouTube's weird with, like you say, that algorithm.
It's because you've narrowed down and only covering Xbox. Xbox.
And this past year, it's
yeah.
been crazy. Feels like Phil does this thing with his hands. Like, we don't want it to be a signal that there's more games coming where Game Pass exists. And then, boom, boom, boom. You know, we're probably going to see Starfield. It's a long wait, but we're probably going to see Starfield on PlayStation in 1 year from now. Dreamcast guy, like,
Oh, well.
jumped out of bed, put his mustache back on. I like the guy, but
Why? But anyway,
because he's actually a nice human being when you talk to him, like most of us are. But
I get it. But
Nah, Paris would fuck him up, bro.
He sucks as a content creator. He really sucks. He's lazy. He bullshits. He grifts and he lies.
True.
We're gonna talk about the grifters and go ahead. Yeah, I want to talk about the grifting thing. This is becoming a real problem with socials.
Bro, I have
YouTube.
seen. Look, YouTube is such a cesspit of a bunch of grifters.
Oh boy. So
Yeah, what?
where do we begin here?
He's not wrong. The problem is that they make money from it, so they kind of have to go into that grifting. Well, depending on how their content is. Like, if you're a Dreamcast guy, just make another Xbox bad video, and his viewership will jump up by like tenfold. It's like, oh boy, here's another bad Xbox video. You know, people are just gonna show up and laugh at him for saying that shit, and that's kind of what he wants. He knows exactly what he's doing. Holy shit, the Xbox looks hella strange.
Right.
Looks old as fuck.
Let's start with Colt first of all, right? He just sits there and they want to talk about grifting. We want to talk about grifting, right? That's exactly what he does. 99% of the
I wouldn't. Well, he probably grifts on topics, but he's always stuck with Xbox. I wouldn't know if he's ever switched with anyone else, but he's mainly stuck to Xbox. I wouldn't say he's necessarily the grifter, but depending on the topics he covers, absolutely, he's definitely a grifter there. But for the most part, Dreamcast guy, he fucking grifts on anything.
the time on social media. That's what he does in his videos. That's what he's done in the past.
He mainly
turns around and
bullshits
says
and
he doesn't
lies.
wanna do that.
Like how, what was that video? I forgot what it was, but I remember watching a video from him, like, oh, how this is going to be the best year for Xbox, and it never was. And then he always talks up and hypes up this shit. Like, he's literally just a free hype man. That's what he is. He's a fucking dickhead.
That he's going to do better, that he's shifting towards other things. And like he said in the video, he's talking about, I just want to talk about multi-platform stuff. No, you don't. And then you're talking about algorithm in regards to...
Yeah, because... what type of fucking thing is this? What is this, like, gotcha moment? It's how the algorithm works. Like, if I make a video talking about Xbox, right? Like, I've only had one, maybe some of my older content where an Xbox video actually does well. Anytime that I've usually posted Xbox videos, they don't usually seem to perform as well as my PlayStation videos. So we're incentivized, and him covering multi-platform games might be the same instance as that. Everyone wants to watch him talk about Xbox, but not these multi-platform shits, right? Like, it depends. They're probably relatively similar when it comes to, like, oh yeah, talking about games, right? But him covering that might not be, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work.
YouTube, and you want to do, and you have to do the same stuff, it seems, and this and that and the other. You don't even do that. If you wanted to truly do that and put your mouth where your money is, your money where your mouth is, then why would you not do that on social media? Because that is not affecting you posting something on X and getting a different type of algorithm feed. You still...
Well, that's not true. The day that Steam shuts, the day that Gabe dies is when gaming dies truly, because whoever takes over Valve, as well as Steam, may run it into the ground. So, like, yeah, but I believe Gabe will be the actual thing that will, let's just say, lead to the death of gaming for PC for a time. Because Gabe has a very certain standard of how everything should be run. Hopefully he has a way of making sure that stays that way after his death. People fear the day that he dies. Because even though it'll be a sad day, it's also going to be a miserable day for us, because who knows who's going to take action. Now, his sons might take over, and hopefully his sons will run the company the same way he does, or take inspiration and try to do better. That would be really cool.
Still have your followers, it's still popping up, and eventually, yes, you're going to take a little bit of a dip, but if you truly want to change that, you can. You need to start with social media and start changing that presence.
Xvolt, you need to realize that people can't often just change their content unless it's valued content, because your fan base that already exists. Like, most people, like, imagine if I started covering, like, I don't know, pocket pussies, right? Some weird shit like that. People come here to watch me for fucking Fanboy content on this channel, and then if I go to my War Thunder channel and go cover, I don't know, a different game, right? No one's gonna give a shit, because they come to me for that certain content. Yes, you can have that general purpose content, like talking about games and all that, but they're not going to be as well viewed as your other stuff. That also depends on algorithms and many other things within this. Like, it's crazy how hard you can get fucked over if you cover a different topic once or twice, or you don't cover something fast enough.
If you will, and you refuse to do so. So again, you're a liar. You sit there and lie, and you pretend, and you...
Tim Sweeney thinks he'll be the saver. Yeah, he fucking wishes, bro.
You're both grifters. You want to sit there, and then Gaz wants to sit there and down-talk Dreamcast guy, and yes, Dreamcast guy, I agree.
You know, actually, Xvault, if you could, Xvault, if you ever see this, I want you to cover PlayStation fanboys, and see what happens. See how your fan base responds to that, because I guarantee you, you will not get as many views as you would covering Xbox fanboys. And if you do, see how your audience responds. Does your audience necessarily care that you cover, like, just have a look at it. There's so many things that I want you to look at when you do that. I would greatly appreciate it if you did.
For the place, you know what I mean? I used to follow and sub to that guy until I realized that, yes, he does grift, but he knows the game. He knows how to do it. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, I can't really comment on Gaz either, because I've never watched his content. No offense, but what did you do? Why'd you offend me, huh? What did you do? Did you kill someone? That's not offensive. But whenever Gabe retires or passes away or whatever, when that happens, there's a next person in charge of our believes Gabe. Yeah, hopefully. I would hope that someone follows the same suit of what he does or doesn't change Steam dramatically, because Steam is in a very good position. And I would hope that they don't change their lead in the PC market, because no one's ever going to compete with them. Gabe has a great mindset. Do nothing and always win, because no one's ever going to beat Steam's values and what they hold while Gabe's in charge. And yet people think that, oh yeah, the Epic Games is going to take over, which they never did. And then these other things, right? Like, the platforms don't offer all these features and values that Steam built up over its years.
He has a lot of followers, so on and so forth. But to sit there and always call out another content creator in regards to editing, laziness, whatever the case is, everything is subjective to the audience and what they like. No one's forcing an audience or a person to sit there and tune into somebody if it really...
Dreamcast guy is the epitome of laziness. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm just a simple retard that goes on to, make a video, does my voiceover gameplay. I'm the most bare minimum piece of shit. That's because I don't have time to cover more shit than I normally would, right? I'm outside woodworking most of the time. Or going to work out, which, that doesn't take me too long. I can't really use that as an excuse. But my days, I would say, very packed for the most part. Because I'm like, okay, well, I gotta make more beehives. Gotta go build the frame, gotta go paint them, do 3 coats of paint so they don't fucking die, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. You know, talking about my amazing profession as a meme keeper. I don't mean to brag, but keeping memes is cool.
Is garbage to them. It's subjective in regards to whether you have super high, top of the line, quality editing, whatever the case is, whatever you want to confirm.
So, I think, yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily Steam's fault for that, because it's the companies that price that. It's not Steam's fault at all. Like, if you look at, Pirate Software, he prices all his games accordingly for certain regions that are poorer. So he'd be like, oh, in Brazil and all that, he'll take off, like, I don't know, a certain amount. And then he'd be like, oh, so the game's only 30% of what its normal price was, and then he makes a whole shit ton more revenue. If companies realize that, they would realize that they make a lot more money. And they wonder why piracy is an issue.
That, but you're not the basis, Gaz. You're not the basis to choose what is good content and what isn't, just because you think you make good content and your editing is of higher quality. It doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that you are a liar as well, you grift, and then you want to call out other grifters. And
I mean, I would say your editing matters. Look at Vertanger as an example. He puts a lot of effort behind his videos, and yet he doesn't get much credit for it. He doesn't get this big amount of viewers, right? He'll always beat us, right? Because he's like the original. Him and Alex will always get more views than anyone else. Purely because they are, I would say, the most... How would you put it? They do the most editing or put the most effort behind their videos compared to everyone else. Except Josh. Josh will always be winning. Because he puts a shit ton of effort behind those videos. He does a lot of editing and does a little bit more silly shit in his videos than most other people. More than Alex. Alex stinks. Make Josh the new Alex, please. Would appreciate it.
And again, your posts and everything like that see that, and then you try to sit there and act like you're not console warring, that you're not grifting. That's exactly what you do. You're a liar. You're both liars, and you are in the company you keep. You and Colt Eastwood are in the same circle of the same intersection, if you will. Simple. It's pathetic.
And you're with the same group of fanboys that constantly talk about how Xbox is dead and this and that. I don't know, you can kind of leverage both of the same things, right? A lot of these people. I don't usually associate with many of these Xbox or PlayStation guys on Twitter, except Josh. Who was that other person? The Black Cobra, Gaming for Everyone. Who else? There's only like a very select few that I really talk to, and that's it. Well, talk to, I mean mainly respond to. Sorry about that. Not necessarily talking. Maybe they're here right now and tell me how much they love me. But for the most part, it's just interacting with those. I don't hang around in any circles, unless it's my retard friends in certain games. I mean, then again, I do kind of come off as a fucking Xbox fanboy when I respond to certain shit, but that's mainly because I'm like, this guy's retarded.
Pathetic to see, but had to speak on that, had to show the absurdity and the lack of self-awareness. And yes, you can sit there and say I'm grifting all you want. I switched and started doing the salty batch files in regards to the community asking for it, showing me posts saying, hey man, you really need to speak on this, because there's a lot of folks on that side of Xbox. There's a lot less that we've been seeing in regards to Xbox crazies. Not saying, I never did say that there weren't crazy PlayStation fanboys out there. Of course there is. In due time, if it elevates or escalates, I will be more than happy to share those as well, because Salty Batch Files is not nuanced to one. It's just what we're focusing on, because
You know, it would have been really cool if you showed off PlayStation Assault recently, X-Vault. You had the opportunity to do it as that retard going off his nut and telling people to go fuck themselves and do that before he got his account suspended. Has he accepted me yet? I want my undying love for his account. Come on. Love me, you dirty bastard. Love me. Love me. Do it. Come on. Do it. Do it. Nah, he won't do it. Hey, the music's not playing. Give me a second. There we go. I forgot to fix that. But there. This creature is a prime example of someone he could have covered, right? But he didn't. He only covers Xbox fanboys. Because this guy was saying some pretty funky shit. And yet, he didn't say shit for some reason.
it is such a different scale is what's going on there. But let's continue here. I want to share something in regards to Digital Foundry here. Here's a small clip.
Hell yeah.
To something in regards to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Take a look.
It's a waste of money.
Good if you're looking to avoid really bad multi-platform releases on PC. And I would say it's mainly the ones that have PSO stutter. Those are usually the ones where I would also argue that you can get a technically smoother experience on console if it's just chock full of PSO stutter. And in which case the Pro would be the better place to play.
I don't think he got banned again. I think his account got unbanned, and he's privated his account. That's pretty much it. I don't think he's done anything. He might have got his account back. I wasn't really paying too much attention, but, you know, he's got these followers and all that, and it's pretty much him. But he's just protected his account because he's a spastic. Who messaged me? I won't respond to that yet. You can wait for it, Stinky.
There you have it. I just wanted to share a little piece of something there that shows that the naysayers on the PlayStation 5 Pro, is it good? Is it worth it? Is it worth the money?
Did he not? He just said console, didn't he? Just play on console to get a smoother performance. I don't think he necessarily mentioned the Pro, did he? Give me a second.
Really bad multi-platform releases on PC. And I would say it's mainly the ones that have PSO stutter. Those are usually the ones where I would also argue that you can get a technically smoother experience on console. If it's just chock full of PSO stutter.
He didn't mention the Pro.
The Pro would be the better place.
Oh no, he did mention the Pro.
So there you have it. I just wanted to share a little piece of something there that shows
okay.
that the naysayers
I guess I'm
on the
gay.
PlayStation 5 Pro, is it good? Is it worth it? Is it worth the money?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. No, it isn't. Just if you're having issues like that on PC, either wait for a patch, wait for the community to fix it, because they will always go out of their way to fix it up. Set the priority to high on your PC if you just want to fix the issues. That's usually how you fix the stutters in Dragon's Dogma 2 and a lot of these newer games, by just setting the priority higher. Whoopsies. And if that's an issue, just buy a normal PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X, and play it there. You're going to get a stable FPS, but it might be 30 or 60, maybe. Depending on the game. Like, it's that simple, but this fucking spastic doesn't realize it.
Resounding yes for what you're getting. You're bang for your buck for a console that you plug and play, and it gives you the power that you're looking for if you choose to do it. You do not have to upgrade from the PS5 to the PS5 Pro.
They shouldn't.
To do so, those are some of the small caveats that come along with it as well. Just wanted to share that. But
The small caveats of not having a fucking vertical stand and a disk drive.
Higher price and this and that, and we're gonna kind of circle around to the clued aspect in regards to the Series S. Let's take a look at an acclaimed individual in regards to what's
Be
going
me,
on with
be
the
me.
model
Come on,
Series
champ.
X. Go ahead and take a look at this.
Be me.
There's a new Xbox, and it's white, and they've got rid of the disk drive, and there's also a new starry 2 terabyte version, which means
Hell yeah.
everything is fine now in the Xbox world. What the hell's happening with Xbox? This is one of the most pathetic refreshes I think I've ever seen. Well, I say refresh. It's more like reheated 4-year-old leftovers. The only genuinely new one is this Xbox Series X Digital Edition 1 terabyte, which is just a Series X without the 4K disk drive. They've slightly changed the cooling and the motherboard and some internal components, but that doesn't really make any difference to you or me. It's now white, and it's about £50 cheaper. That is it. But we've not had any kind of proper slim version. We've not had any kind of Pro option, and yet it's still 50 quid more than the digital-only PS5 Slim, which is just as powerful and a good deal.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about this, honestly.
Why anyone would buy an Xbox? I mean, Microsoft even call it disc-free with the new digital edition, as if it's like a feature.
You don't have to worry about discs, disk drives, Blu-rays, any of that.
I mean, do you disagree?
Yeah,
So
what's the issue?
There, exactly what I've kind of been thinking and seeing all along is the teardowns and everything else. It just...
I don't really see an issue with that. It's just like the PlayStation, isn't it, slim? I mean, I think they haven't changed any of their performance or anything, but if it's cheaper, I guess, cheaper version without a disk drive if you want it, kind of like how PlayStation, I believe, offers something like that as well. I don't think the performance really changes, so I don't really see much of a necessary difference. I could be wrong. Maybe the PlayStation Slim version has better performance or offers something better, but I don't know. It's just a diskless one that costs a little bit less. I mean, personally, I think it should be a little bit cheaper already than that. I think it should take a little bit more dollars off.
I feel like people have been ripped off. They continue to get ripped off. They made it apparent that they are pulling their consoles from other countries and stuff like that.
And you don't feel ripped off by looking at the PS5 Pro? They literally had to zoom in to show you the changes. You could basically barely, not barely, depending on the game, you could actually notice some of the changes, but it was not that noticeable that would really be necessary for a $700 purchase, right? Like, I ain't buying a PS5 Pro, or maybe I'll buy a PS5, but not a Pro.
They go on to do another hardware-based thing, whether it's a, handheld hybrid, whatever the case is, it's going to be exponentially, seemingly cut shorter than the term of the lifespan should be. It just seems odd, and I don't know how people don't feel ripped off. You want to talk?
I mean, yeah, that's true. What is it? There's an issue of the dogs, Watch Dogs 2. 870 there, bro. That's crazy. For us, it's 1,200 if you want to get everything. I think on average it's 1,100. But I don't know. Like, they throw a lot of these consoles out there, and it's like, what's the point in buying them, right? Like, a discless one needs to be a lot cheaper. Which, from what it is, it's cheaper, but I would like it to be a little bit more cheaper for the Xbox. I need to look at comparisons between both the prices of the Slim and every other version, because honestly, he's just talking about that shit, and that's pretty much it. Not really much for me to work with, because personally, I don't care about these consoles. I don't know everything about them. I never plan on using them in the first place. Not anymore, at least.
About false advertising, you want to talk about anything else. And yeah, just like you said, right? We're going to try and highlight that it is diskless. That is a highlight of the console, like losing a feature, losing something is a highlight.
What? And doesn't the Slim have an optional disk drive? You lose something with that, don't you? What? Huh? If I'm correct, like, you have a diskless version of the PS5 as well. You lose a feature. They make it cost less. This is just the same as that one, but you never complained about that. You never complained about the PS5 Pro not having a disk drive and you need to purchase separately. Like, yeah, you can still purchase it, but it should be there on launch, like the other Pro variants. And a vertical stand, you're not complaining about that? That's crazy.
And I understand you have to buy the disc, attachment tray for the PS5 Pro, but I don't remember them highlighting it like, look, you don't have that pesky disk drive, basically, right? No. It's an option. A lot of people, the data is out there. Most people, even though I like my hard copies as well, and I try to get as many that I can that makes sense to me, I understand that most people have moved to digital. Simple. It moved to digital, that's why, but at least we still have an option. I don't know if there's an option to input the disc tray into a Series X digital. Let me know down in the comments below if you can.
I don't think you can. You can kind of tell by looking at it. There's not really much of a tray. There's no hole. It's not like the PS... Like, I'll give the PS5 some credit. The optional disc drive is a really cool feature. I think that's genuinely cool. That you can just go plug it in if you so need it, but I don't think the Xbox will do that.
And to my knowledge, I'm not aware you can, but feel free to let me know or let us know as the audience. That being said, we'll wrap up the video here, folks. I appreciate that. Tried to fit that all in, of course. And as always, thank you so much for all your support.
You know, I'm gonna ask, did he do this mostly in one take? 'Cause I didn't see him, like, jump cutting anywhere. I think he did most of this video in one take. That's kind of interesting. Looks like he did. He didn't seem to really jump anywhere besides the occasional things where he stops the video and puts in that stuff. That's pretty much it. It's kind of impressive that he's able to do that, but that's why he doesn't really offer much of anything substance worth. It's kind of an issue. Now, let's go and look at his other video. What is it? Xbox fanboys embarrass themselves crying over the PS5 Pro, or about the PS5 Pro. Fuck. Fuck out of here, ad. No sound for you. It's 2:30 for you. Big man. Is it AIAM? Hell yeah. Winning. Sorry about that. Oh, he's playing the same video again.
Xball here, and today we're going to go over your first dose of the Salty Batch files. Of course, we have some good ones here. Of course, we have sympathizers, victim mentality going on, and above all else, we do have some salt content, as well as this is a post.
I would have no idea if it's a simple firmware update, at least for an optional disk drive, because I don't think in that digital version they actually have a hole there. Like, you can take it apart and put it in, because I don't think there's anything there. They haven't changed much about the motherboard or anything, or sizes or stuff. Maybe they made I think they mentioned that they made the heatsink a little bit bigger. But I wouldn't know personally if you could fit it in there. It would have to depend on the disk drive, but maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. I wouldn't be able to know, because I don't use it. Maybe if I owned one and took it apart, I could tell you.
So, without further ado, let's go ahead.
Digital Foundry are clowns. Occasionally. I feel like some of the times they've got some pretty shitty takes. Like that Stellar Blade take that they did was absolutely miserable.
The first example, right out the gates. Now, we haven't featured Kid Smooth in quite some time because
Kid Smooth, hell yeah.
Some ridiculous posts, but I don't always see them. This one really did catch my eye. Let's give this a show here.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Wow. Saw this image floating around basically on the timeline with the emoji face showing all the teeth. The interesting part to this here is, yes, the PlayStation side that's being shown, not the greatest scores. Forspoken.
Is he just showing third-party games? Is that what he's doing? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought Kid Smooth was a PlayStation fanboy. What happened? He went from sucking PlayStation's dick back to Xbox. Man's confusing, bro. Pick a lane. Pick a side. I don't know about these. Like, you could put the other... Like, wait. You could put the other third-party games, like Final Fantasy. You could put most of the other games on there, and they'd be like 90s to 80s as well. This is stupid. Fucking retard, I swear. Kid Smooth.
Can be whatever, right? And Foam Stars was utter garbage. I'll admit that 100%. But what
it
I'm
was.
trying to figure out here, and I'm
Forspoken was garbage.
Before I do, is it the Sega plus Xbox side of things here? A lot of JRPGs and from Sega and all that, great games. They obviously have great meta scores and such like that. But these are available on the PlayStation ecosystem as well. I don't know where you're trying to pull a W from here. This isn't it. This is not it. If anything, this shows that Xbox has less of offerings available to them, where PlayStation, you get to choose what you want to do. And the score is subjective to each game.
You can choose what you want to do on Xbox as well. I don't get how that's an argument. You don't want to buy the game, you do want to buy the game. If you want a platform with real choice, come to the PC platform. You want to use a certain launcher, you want to play a certain game, you want to play a certain game from years ago that you can't play on console, come to PC, you can do it.
Gamer out there, yes, collectively, most people tend to agree with the scores, at least around about, but ultimately, we all have different tastes, we don't always like the same games, but moral of the story.
Thank you for establishing that.
Trying to get a W, like these are miraculously exclusive to Xbox and its ecosystem altogether, it's not. This is kind of a really...
He didn't mention that these were exclusive. He was just comparing Metacritic scores between, well, biased Metacritic scores in some sense.
All the Xbox shills and such, and of course, Kids Move has to lap this up and grab it and think it's another thing, and like, oh, I saw us floating around. You know what this means, boys? No, it doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing.
Well, put the other third-party games up there. Like, what is it? Final Fantasy's third-party. Most of those games seem to perform well. Why doesn't he put them up there? And why don't people edit it? It's because it's made by a fucking fanboy. Kids Move's fucking retarded, and whoever made this is a bit stupid because you can put other third-party games up there that actually performed well, like Stray. Final Fantasy, even though the games seem pretty ass and not many people really seem to like them, but they still performed well. They still got high 80s. You could put them up there, but he doesn't. And there you go. They would have been both 80s. It would have been like, oh, both have good games. Fucking spastics, I swear.
Other than it's another L for Xbox side of things when you're comparing you getting less in your ecosystem. But let's continue on. We have a lot to go over here, of course. So the next one, Estelle. This will be a quick one. I just love a good Estelle burn because he takes L's daily. He believes he doesn't, but he really does. Now he goes on here. Black Myth Wukong Xbox version rated by ESRB suggests release incoming.
Have you seen the homebrew scene on the Xbox Series X? No, I have not. Using developer mode to... Oh, you can actually... Oh, no, yeah, you can actually boot up developer mode on Xbox, can't you? Forgot about that. I'm learning something new here. I would like to jailbreak my Series X personally, because I'd like to preserve all the games on there, like grab my For Honor files, because I've got an external hard drive, but it's encrypted, and I don't know how to, because I don't want to reformat that, because if I do, it'll make me lose all my data. But I'd like to, or at least fuck with it, so I can take all the folders off, get all the stuff, but maybe I'll have to try and figure out how to do that at some point. Great, see if it stores any save files on there or anything.
Suggests, right? Now, it was shown just below here. Physical release date reveal. Black Myth Wukong PS5 Physical Edition will be released October 21st. Tomorrow in the US at the time of this recording, stuff like that, right? Shows how that very soon in Europe at 69. And then, of course, we have the great meme. Surprise, this is exactly what it is. They keep thinking it's going to be something big. But he was going back and forth quite a bit, too, that Black Myth Wukong was not a big deal, but then it's a big deal again. Physical release, finally coming to Xbox. They're going to, of course, try to spin that like it would be the best version and all that. We already know how this character...
PC is the best version. I mean, didn't both have some performance issues? I wouldn't know. I haven't played Black Myth Wukong. I never took an interest in it. But I think for the most part, they're both the same. I think it's either they both did... I don't know. I need to look at gameplay again. It's been quite some time. I forgot what people are saying about it since I've never played it, so... I know one of them was doing better than the other. I think that could have been the... I wouldn't know. Could have been the PlayStation one.
And Circus goes already, but
Stay out of there, mouse.
Burn like that because they get all their eggs in one basket and boom. But let's keep going here. Now, Snap Blast Play. Again, been a minute maybe that he's been featured for a moment, but here we are again with the tried and true formula that he likes to do. Xbox and PlayStation first party is just different. Starfield, Xbox PC Cloud, 10 years, 1 galaxy, amazing quality, DLC and mods. Amazing quality.
This spastic.
Because a lot of people are pretty much split on this, and more so split in...
Black Myth Wukong has Denuvo on PC. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Let's have a read of this. Starfield, PC, Xbox, Cloud, 10 years, 1 galaxy, amazing... No, it's not amazing quality. I watched this guy, I forgot who it was, but this content creator that, like, he reviews guns, and he, like, looked at all the stuff. And guns, bro, they are horrendous. DLC and mods, that's the only, like, good part about it. The mods, not the DLC. DLC, Shattered Space was ass. PS5 only, not true. That's on PC now, or coming to PC. 10 hours, one steady buggy mess. Both are buggy messes. Don't try to say one is the other, and one's better. One's a Bethesda game, one's an Insomniac game that shouldn't have released.
in the side that it's not game of the generation, it's not amazing. 10 years, what are you talking about? Are we talking about longevity, how long it'll be played? That can be said for any game out there, whether it's linear or not.
That's rough. Your boyfriend doesn't give you that much attention? That's kind of rough, bro. You know, it would be pretty cool to have a fanboy as like a girlfriend or some shit, or a boyfriend, because, you know, if you were like their console, they would do anything for you. They would feed you, they would clean you, they would do everything, bro. You could just sit there and fucking you could break your legs and they'll do everything for you. Probably don't have to break your legs now. Think about it. You can just fucking sit there and they'll carry you everywhere, take you everywhere. Peak.
Objective. I'm glad it's available on PC and cloud, because cloud is just so fun and streaming's just the way to go this day and age at this time of recording. You know, in the future, that could be a different story, but anytime soon, streaming is not the way. I've used cloud. I've even used PlayStation Plus stuff, and it works fairly a bit better than on PlayStation Plus. It does with streaming games. However, that's not the moral of the story here. The moral of the story is streaming. I still don't like it, still don't care for it, is my primary way of gaming.
We may not like it, but it's becoming more and more of a thing.
DLC and mods, like, that's a W for... If you want more DLC and mods and stuff to do, then get on PC. And
yeah, mods is a W. What do you mean?
We know he's talking about Xbox now. Let's get
you
on
have
the
mods
side
on
that he's trying
console.
to negate as an L for PlayStation here. He's talking about Spider-Man 2 again. PS5 only. Is that a bad thing? Okay.
Yes, it is a bad thing. What if more people want to play it on another platform?
I don't like my games being 100 hours anymore. I start getting worn out personally, especially at my day and age. I know the kids and the teens may have more time, but as you get older, you have families, you have responsibilities, jobs, this, that, and the other. Trust me, 10 to 20 hours is really a good sweet spot. Very far and few between getting past 50 hours plus. One city, again, this is Spider-Man, no duh.
Well, it's because he's comparing an RPG to I would say an action game.
Mess, which is not true, especially as of now.
As of now, but when it launched, just like Starfield, both were buggy messes. I'm sorry, Chief, but this isn't a win for either game. Both games were kinda ass. Well, I didn't really like okay, I kinda liked it for like the first 50 hours, but then I realized the more and more I played it, how much of a lesser version of Morrowind it was. I just want a game to go back to being as good as Morrowind and Oblivion. I want my real RPG experience back, but I know I'll never get that back.
At the very beginning of launch, some people had some issues. I did not experience any, but one crash, that was it.
Did not experience any? Bro, that's crazy. You definitely did.
Again, let's see what game sold more, but I guess you'd be comparing that to Game Pass as well. I mean, it's just L after L. I mean, all they do is hurt their brand. If someone was sitting there and they were a fan of Spider-Man, like...
I would say that Starfield would have sold more, but then again, they did bundle Spider-Man 2 to get more sales for it with the PS5s. So technically, they would have sold more. What was that? Oh, never mind. She dropped something. It's okay. Never mind. But I think the main problem is how they sold Spider-Man 2. Not necessarily people playing it, like I said in last stream, but the main problem was that because they have a contract with, Disney to sell a certain amount of those, they had to sell it through the console to make sure that they would meet that quota. Because if they didn't, they would lose the rights to Spider-Man. Which, honestly, I don't blame them for doing it right. Like, that's a smart thing to do. But they also slightly increased the price of consoles. So it can really be seen as a double-edged sword. Yeah, they sold all the copies, but are you going to play them? Probably not. Not many people probably, I would say, wanted to play Spider-Man because they got it with their console. Most people are just going to sit there and play COD and most third-party games. Exclusives are not as big as people think they are, but they do sell occasionally.
This guy's saying Starfield's better, so let me just invest in maybe this ecosystem that has Starfield, and then they bypass something like...
You should have just invested into PC because you've got more control over your mod list. Get MO2, boot it up, override, and do whatever you need to make sure your mod list works, and then bingo, you're ready to go. And you can take your mod list with you anywhere. That's what I do. I have it on an external hard drive. I make constant backups of it.
Like Spider-Man that they'd maybe be more into or something like that, and then you're going to sit here and see this as an L. When it's the L that's taking for the fan base, they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth. It's going to do more harm than good. This is where fibs, capping, and the like is going to hurt.
Fair enough, Silver. Poor thing.
And not only that, but your reputation once the casuals find out who you truly are. But let's keep going. That was some nonsense here. Now,
That's crazy that you're able to rent games. I don't think you can even do that here in Australia. Like, you can't go to a physical store place and actually rent the game itself. I think you can just buy a pre-owned copy, and that's the best you can do.
We have some victim mentality, we have some hypothesis here, and we got Mr. Boomstick back at it again. This guy probably needs more featured more on this channel than it tends to be, but here we go. He's talking about game industry, and I'm going to read what he's talking about first, but let's talk about
Let's go, troops. Let's go.
You know,
see what he has to say. Read it out.
How the Game Pass situation shakes out, Sony could end up being the company that enjoys the most black ink on its financials from Black Ops 6, which is a bit of a bum note in what should be a triumphal moment for Xbox. Now, I don't see this as necessarily being untrue, because this could, depending on how Game Pass situation shakes out. We still have to kind of wait. We have to wait for this to kind of play out.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because wouldn't Microsoft benefit from the 70% of the profits that they get from PlayStation? Like, even if COD sells right, they still make a shit ton of money off of PlayStation, now that they own it. So who really cares? Both make money. Both communities get to play it. Who cares?
I'm not 100% sure.
Blockbuster? We don't have that here anymore, I don't think.
Part of the big ABK deal is having that control completely over COD. Yes, it's going to be multi-plat, but just trying to see how that moves Game Pass numbers. Does that additionally help in any way, shape, or form with hardware as well for the Xbox side? We're waiting to see, but this could end up being...
Probably not help with hardware. Maybe Game Pass numbers at best, but no hardware. Unless they get exclusive content on the Xbox.
Casuals, and again, it's fine if you are. But there's a lot of them out there, right? And what do? That's the only game they buy. You know, same with the Madden users or the FIFA users or whatever the case is, UFC users. They go out and buy the same game yearly. And no different for the COD folks out there. Now, with them buying that, we know those games get sold more on PlayStation. That's all they care about. They don't want to sub. They're already subbing to Netflix and Hulu and YouTube.
Well, that's because PlayStation has a bigger buying base, and most of the people there play COD. Maybe most.
Anything, right? Pandora, whatever you want to put out there. Disney Plus, all that stuff. HBO Max, the list goes on and on and on. But you're just adding everything, and eventually you have to cut it off. Like, why would I be subbing monthly to a game that I just play exclusively? Why would I not get more of a benefit just to own this? And then I can flip to it.
Well, if you don't want to sub, just buy it outright and permanently have it. I mean, technically, you don't permanently own it because it's always online, so the moment that the internet disappears or they stop servicing the game, you're pretty much never going to be able to play it. This is why I like older games, because if I want to go play Black Ops 2, I can download it and play it and mod it if I so desire. And they can't do anything.
However, whenever, all that stuff, right? That's just how that works. So I don't see this.
Agreed. A sale on PlayStation is a sale for Xbox. They still make money, well, they both make money from it, and that's how it is. Just like on Steam. Every platform does it, and it works. Money's money, as long as you get something from it.
It's really changing the game. When it was first announced, you know, if it was going to be more of an exclusive thing, absolutely. But the fact that this is not exclusive, because they need that money, I don't see this changing all that much. But we'll have to kind of wait and see. But anyways, back to the boom statement here. The disingenuous takes from the gaming media to stir up clicks, likes, and engagement never ceases to amaze me, as if PlayStation gamers buying Black Ops 6 is somehow a bad thing. The whole reason for ABK investment is IP for Xbox Game Pass and a consistent flow of cash, on and on and on. That's not the tune he was singing at the beginning, by the way.
You could have...
thing was down, hoping for
okay, that's a bit of a gripe with me, but if you're gonna read a tweet, read the entire thing. Like, I would understand, yeah, like, if you're not really in the mood to read it, but at least give the entire context to it so people can pause the video and read it. You didn't do that. Why not? That's kind of shitty that you didn't do that.
The other, but now it's all about the cash, and he's right. They do get more of a cut for even every sale on PlayStation. I'm not negating that, but it's a bad thing. Game industry is not being wrong here.
Well, it's not hard to understand, but this little gooner right here doesn't understand how it works. Money from one area that has that game gets a certain cut of it. Like, it's that simple, but I guess not for them.
Right? But they're not. Again, they're not stating for a fact. Depending on
Gene Park. I don't really like that guy. I think he's a bit of a fucking idiot. I don't know. I don't really listen to journalists of any kind, but Some of his previous takes were kind of mid, so I refuse to listen to him. You know, I'm one of those nerds. He said he would just upgrade. Fair enough. I do occasionally get that issue where I'm reading stuff and like, bro, like, I hate reading tweets. I hate responding to tweets as well. I like doing videos because it's very simple. You don't have to read anything. You don't have to make sure that you get a correct take, or you don't say anything wrong, or don't miss anything, or miss the context behind it. You have someone's video right there to do it. Tweets will always bug me. But then again, I couldn't really care. It's content at the end of the day.
How the Game Pass, if it doesn't move Game Pass and it sells more, again, on PlayStation, this works more in the favor of PlayStation. They're going to buy the hardware for PlayStation 5 if they don't have a 5 or a Pro. Call of Duty could potentially, just like Diablo 4 is going to, COD could potentially end up performing better with the PS5 Pro for some time until, if and when...
Well, this is the issue, X-Fault, is that there's more PlayStation players than Xbox players right now. So, regardless if that is, the game might perform well. But then you also need to account for Game Pass sales on that other platform, if that actually moves the needle for them. Purely because both of these platforms will have their respective groups playing it, whether or not it's through Game Pass, actual sales of the game, or on PlayStation, just more people buying it. Like, who really cares? It's a sale for them at the end of the day. It's more people buying or getting their way into it. Whether or not they can see the analytics for Game Pass, it's that simple. It's just more money for the company. Who really cares how they get it or how they make it?
The next Xbox hardware ends up coming out, and what does that look like?
Bro, I hate Nib, bro. I swear to God, Nib pisses me off. That creature crawls out of his basement, and he's like, oh. Did you see his tweet recently, bro? He's like, oh, if Elden Ring wasn't exclusive, it'll perform better. It's like, yeah, that's clearly how it worked, champ, you know. Oh, I don't know, man. It would have definitely performed better. Those 20 million copies across the board from Xbox, PlayStation, and PC would have really done wonders just on PlayStation, bro. Shit was stupid. Fun fact, unlike PSVR 2, you can buy graphics on MetaQuest headsets. You know, fun fact, you can actually buy FPS on PC. I forgot when I made that post, but someone didn't actually believe me, but you can use, what is it, timeless scaling or some shit, and you can, like, give yourself extra FPS in games. It's such a cool little app. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 did run like ass. I usually use that game as an example because it was literally one of the worst games I've seen that do performance. Its resolution was terrible just to maintain that stable, what was it, like 30 or 60 FPS? It's crazy. And people sit there and accept that.
All this stuff, right? We don't know. There's too many question marks, so it's a huge deal that people are still going to buy Call of Duty on PlayStation, because when you have the hardware, you're invested in the ecosystem, odds are you might be picking up more software, which is really the game changer as far as financials for that ecosystem. Do we understand how that works? And of course, at the very bottom, I'm sure you all seen, it's getting annoying from Cold Eastwood. What's getting annoying? Your lies? Because you have no room to talk here. Absolutely none. But I love how you chip in on there. The tears are coming down. There's so
it's getting annoying. What's there to say? Bruh, this shit's annoying. Listening to this retard. I want to move on to the next tweet. There we go. Crimson Desert. Let's go, champ.
And talking about Crimson Desert got a
Let's move back a bit. Okay.
AKA Joseph Cruz, still putting on the persona here. This is great here. I love this one.
Bloodborne was running like crap on PS4. I mean, hey, it's not an exclusive anymore. You can get it through an emulator and play it on PC with mouse and keyboard now. I need to go grab myself some stuff. Who keeps slamming the door? Oh, it's her again. She was grabbing something. She fucking slammed the door because of the wind.
Ha 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 ha, all caps, all that stuff. Bravo, Pearl Abyss. You got my respect for rejecting the desperate anti-consumer attempts from the pork SIHT company.
Just say shit.
And two okay emojis, right? And talking about Crimson Desert got a Sony offer for a timed exclusive, but Pearl Abyss did refuse.
Good.
I find that odd that they did refuse. I would think that you would want some more lump sum for a timed exclusive.
What? No, that if you sell the game day and date on all platforms, you'll see a markedly better profit margin, right? Imagine if God of War went day and date on PC. They would see far better profits, far better player base, and far better numbers for their shit. Purely because people want to play that when it comes out, because the hype around it is at its peak. Why would you not do that for all these other games? Timed exclusivities can kinda kill shit. Look at what they did with Epic Games as an example. Epic Game exclusivity led to a lot of games not performing that well on Steam because people were kinda bored and not willing to give a shit about it anymore. Sony is anti-consumer. I would say that so is Microsoft in some instances, but they're a little bit more consumer. I mean, that doesn't really save them from fixing any of their issues with their company, but hey, it's what works. 16 isn't on PC? That's crazy.
And then you can still, release it elsewhere. I find that odd. I don't think Xbox is going to, unless they put you on Game Pass as well, I don't see you getting too much of a bank, as if you will, if you were getting a timed exclusive deal, right? That's my 2 cents. But in addition to that, just an FYI.
Oh, and I should say, I'm not sure if Stalker 2 was timed exclusive, but timed exclusives are just kind of stupid. Like, yeah, they can work in some instances depending on the game, right? But if your game loses interest and people aren't interested in your game, time exclusivity can really fuck you over when it comes to profits day one on games. Like, the best thing you can do is just go day and date on all platforms.
This is anti-consumer when companies do that. By the way, don't forget they talked about Stalker 2 is looking spectacular. Xbox console exclusive 2023 Xbox Game Pass day one green heart emoji.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Do we see the hypocrite here for what they are, right?
It's because this retard's an Xbox fanboy. I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, I'll give you credit right now, Xfault. You're finally covering actual Xbox fanboys, because, in some of your previous videos, you refused to actually cover people. You mainly assumed that they were fanboys because they disagreed with Sony, so I'll give you credit here. You're actually covering a fanboy, but I don't see much of an issue with him calling out this stuff. But then again, I'm sure he wouldn't call it out if Microsoft did it.
The hypocrisy overall.
So, it's a double standard from this fucking retard.
Also, you're a catfish on top of that. But yeah, this is just crazy. They just back and forth. And I don't know how these people have followers. They have crazies out there that just love to listen to it, lap it up, anything that makes them feel good about their purchase into an ecosystem. This person's right, man. I mean, anti-consumerism. And I hear that all the time with Sony and PlayStation. Anti-consumerism.
They are anti-consumer. Look at what they did with PC. They're forcing PSN accounts, and people don't want to make PSN accounts. And now a bunch of countries are locked out of the game that originally could play Helldivers, but I think they removed that requirement again, so thank God. Actually, no, I don't think they removed the country requirement, so maybe they did. They just removed the PSN requirement, but people still can't play it. But see, that's the issue. A lot of people wonder why no one likes Sony when it comes to PC, because they always add these extra bells and whistles that aren't necessary. I would like to play God of War, but I don't want to have a PSN account, and I think I can still find the mod that removes PSN accounts for all the games, but good thing I can play Ghost. I did like Ghost. That's like the only PlayStation game I really enjoyed. Epic Games is truly a trashy storefront. But then again, I would hope that they would do the smart thing and build up and actually gain some good faith with its community and gamers around the world, but I guess not. They would rather just be stupid. They're just known as the Fortnite launcher, so I don't necessarily care about them. They can suffer and burn for all I care. I'll never use them. I only used them for Unreal Engine when I was trying to develop stuff, but that was it. Once I realized I had no use for it, I just went away and disappeared. Difference between money hating and developers making a decision? True.
Exclusives are bad, this and that, but then they turn around, it's good when it's for their ecosystem, though. Sure thing, absolutely. Oh man, let's see. We got some more here, but let's end with one more because I got a couple videos here. All right, let's make this a good one here. Now,
yes, make it a good one, champ.
Since we had Darius Fears here, I cannot stand this guy's posts because they're just so awful. The L's just write themselves, and then he
come on,
turns
champ,
around and thinks he did nothing wrong. But here we go. Why is there still a select group of people defending the PS5 Pro?
Good question.
Maybe the video I shown in the very beginning of this video from Digital Foundry states why it's a good deal. It's a no-brainer, but I understand
that's not a good example. Just because a game performs kinda ass on PC doesn't mean you should go out there and get a PS5 Pro. You could just get a normal PS5. That doesn't justify the existence of a PS5 Pro at all. Like, the PS5 Pro isn't really necessary to fix those performance issues. Like I said, you could just do the normal thing, and if you want to fix stutters, just set your game to a high priority on your PC instead of what it normally is. Like, you can fix all those issues with that simple fix. I did it for many of the games that I have performance issues on, which is very little. But if it's like Dragon's Dogma 2, where it has stutters occasionally, you just fix it with that priority switch. Or you get a mod that does it, and it's very simple to set up. Or you can set it up through, I believe, your PowerShell, if you so desire to. I don't get how this is like a... It's still a fucking... I wouldn't say the PS5 Pro scam, but it's not a worthy deal. If it was 500, sure.
With your peanut-sized brain can't comprehend that, but let's go ahead and keep shilling and spreading that misinformation. The biggest scam in gaming, Image, which you can't put imagine, Image, what would happen if Xbox wasn't a thing?
Poor thing.
The same thing that's happening now.
Everyone laugh at him. Spelling mistake. Boo. Boo. Yeah, spelling mistake really showed you who's boss, isn't it, big man? I know, I always have to make sure that my spelling's correct before I post something so I don't get laughed at. It do be like that.
Them basically being third party and life going on with Nintendo and PlayStation and everything else, and Steam and Epic and games everywhere.
Who gives a shit if they're third party, princess? Like, what's the problem? You don't, like, who cares? No one cares that no one's games are going to these other platforms, right? It's just more people get to play them. And yet you motherfuckers sit there and bitch that, oh, these games aren't selling well, don't put them on PC. And, well, not even taking into consideration that they're single-player games, bro. Like, fucking shit's crazy.
Don't see them being an issue. Now, if Nintendo and PlayStation were to completely bow out...
Speaking of Sony login, Adelaide is Rockstar. Rockstar doesn't have the restrict. Yeah, fair. Well, I mean... I'm not going to justify Rockstar at all, right? Because at the end of the day, right, like I went on Red Dead Online and started cheating straight away by spawning in a bunch of fucking gold bars for me. I don't know if that account's been banned yet. I'll probably get an email that my account's been banned, but I don't think having any of these PSN requirements, it's kind of just fucking... I don't know. It's just kind of stupid that they make you have all these requirements because they want to set up a launcher. Why inconvenience people? Why make them create another account? I mean, yeah, you can harvest their data and sell it off, but can't you just do that with the user agreement of playing the game? Like, I don't think most of us want these external launchers that aren't necessary. Do I even have the Rockstar launcher anymore? I think I got rid of it. Come here, why are you still open? Nope, I don't have the Rockstar launcher. I've just got my editing software, Discord, Dwarf Fortress, yeah, Streamlabs, yeah, I got nothing.
Xbox does.
Need to step away. Message later. Fair enough. I'll see you later. Have a great day.
Serious quality control and so on and so forth. But to sit there and act like if Xbox wasn't there, like something worse would happen. Nothing would happen. I think it's a bigger impact if we didn't have Nintendo or PlayStation around.
I feel like it would still be an impact if Xbox wasn't here, because PlayStation, regardless if Xbox is not competition or not, they still need the concept of their competitor being there and keeping them, in a sense, on their toes. Like, even if Xbox isn't doing shit, just letting them know, like, oh, eventually Xbox might do something that might throw us off. Or we might get cocky, because having one person there, and be like, oh, look, PlayStation may charge us $100 for a new game, right? And eventually, at some point, then they may work their way from 80, 90 to 100. And imagine what would happen then if Xbox wasn't there to keep them in check. What if people are like, oh, fuck this, PlayStation, let's go to Nintendo, and if they see it as socially acceptable, they might change it. Like, there's a whole bunch of things where they could still benefit, even though they might not be directly competing with them right now.
That's what I think. Not that I agree with all of Nintendo's, methods and stuff like that, and sue happy.
But I would hope that if they look at the PC market, they would realize, oh shit, we shouldn't be charging $100 or $80, $90, or $70 for games because people won't stand up for that shit. It's really annoying paying $120 for a game. I really don't like it.
For this and that and the Power World fiasco, right? And PlayStation isn't perfect either. Absolutely.
Take me back to the good days of when I could go to an EB Games near me and get a game for $40, like Halo 3 when that first came out. Please, I beg of you to bring that back.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying these two companies really put and helped keep gaming on the map. Not that Xbox didn't do their thing at times, obviously. Xbox 360 being a great generation for them and for everybody as a gamer.
Damn right.
I agree with that, but as of this time, over the last decade, they've been dropping the ball, and they haven't
Damn
done
right.
a thing in regards to changing the landscape. And you can use Game Pass all you want, but again,
What was that? Sorry. A 770 exists. It's probably still cheaper than a PS5. Crazy.
Why they are what they are, and they're losing and moving those exclusives everywhere. That's why things are becoming more multi-plat. We don't
Like, I don't know why they didn't bother, like, increasing the CPU for the PS5. I mean, not PS5, PS5 Pro. Because if they increased that right, the console, I would argue, might have been actually worth it. But because they just increased the graphics card, that was it. Like, I don't know why they didn't just do that. Like, you would have probably got so much better performance if it wasn't bottlenecked like it already is.
don't need to go over this over and over again, but that's the fact. But let's continue on real quick. And then, of course, he wants us to believe that, but then not too long ago, earlier this year, he stated Xbox is #1 in gaming, but the industry nor community ain't ready to hear that.
I wouldn't say they're #1.
Stating this on May.
Because let's see, like half of these, let's see, so I don't know about that one. I don't know about like half of these three, well, these two haven't released yet. And I think, well, I don't think that one's released either. Like, you can say that they're #1 in industry, right? But most of these games that you show here probably haven't released yet. Or their latest version. I know that's released. I don't think that's released. I think that's released. That's released. But these three here haven't released. An RTX 4060 is stronger than a PS5, but it's cheaper than a PS5 Pro. Fair.
This year. I don't remember.
I mean, hey, an RTX 4060 is doing me pretty well. I have no issues with it.
Again, during the 360 generation, but ever since the Xbox One generation and up to Xbox Series S and X, that has not been the situation at all. But yes, we're supposed to believe you, right? You're shilling ass.
Unrelated, but have you seen the Egg RTX? No, on Steam. It's an Egg RTX Steam system. Requires 182 gigabytes of RAM. An RTX... What? Hello? The minimum requirement. I'm not kidding. Take a look for you. Is this like an actual game, bro? Let me have a look at this. That's crazy. What is it called? Egg RTX? Let me have a look. Let's have a look. I swear if you made me find a porn game, I'll be so mad. RTX. Hell yeah. I see what you mean. Well, that's fucking crazy, bro. There ain't no way that it actually requires that, bro. Full time never lie before with Egg RTX fully remastered for next gen performance, bro. Let's go. Includes ray tracing and advanced shadows in a game about eggs, bro. That's crazy. I gotta see the reviews on this, bro. You found a fucking classic game. Intense gameplay graphics are better than the real world. My PC exploded, bro. That's a good review. Shit. This game is amazing. Still regular beta version. Skins are crazy, bro. That's fucking crazy. Why did you have to tell me about this? Why? Look at that. That's crazy. Ain't no way you need that much RAM. Is this made by the same person? I don't think it is it? No, it isn't. They've made the banana game, bro. That's crazy. If you don't upgrade the CPU, that GPU upgrade won't do anything. I agree. I feel like I'm bottlenecking my thing with a 4060. I feel like I should move it up to a 4080 to get the best performance. But yeah, there we go. You were right. It's fucking crazy that this shit exists, bro. Anyway, back on Xbox.
Supposed to believe when you state crap like that, but yes,
whoopsies.
Absolutely do go on.
Hey, look, it's a Griffin Gaming stream, bro. Crazy.
But that being said, let's go on. This video is long enough. I do have another video here I want you to see. This is from good old Destin Legary, and we'll end it with him. But here he is crying about, well, let's just show you here.
Oh, we need the best looking graphics in the world. Okay, explain why Palworld was so successful. Palworld did not have the best graphics in the world. It has to be cutting edge 4K native. Here comes Helldivers 2, not cutting edge, not 4K native. It's just a really fun game. At the end of the day, what gamers actually want, and we all know this, a fun video game.
Damn right.
Good story. Like if you're focused.
Damn right. He knows exactly what we need, champ.
It has to be that.
Down to 10 frames per second, bro. That's crazy.
My gameplay session, I either want to feel cool, play as a cool character, be a badass, right? Or I want to be moved in some way. I think, like I said, something is being lost in translation between
Agreed.
what gamers say they want and what they actually want. I think gamers are very loud on X, and there's a little bit of confusion. Like guys, you're not going to get native 4K games on consoles for a long time. I'm just going to break it to you now.
He's right. Even to this day, you can't get native 4K, and I believe most PS4 games and PS5 games, it's mainly games that are older through emulation, you might actually get it. He's right. I don't know how this is like a... I don't see how this is an own.
Alright, so as you can see, now the narrative has changed again. They shift the goalposts. The narrative has changed. It's all
How's the narrative changed?
graphics don't matter now, guys. It's
They never did matter. It's always been gameplay first and foremost, with pretty much good graphics to come after it. If your gunplay and your gameplay isn't good, most people don't care about your fucking game.
always been a touted thing ever since the original Xbox and me being on the playground talking about video games with others that were Xbox fans, and they were talking about, and all they had was Halo back in the OG day for the most part, right? Talking about graphics and being better than the PS2 and all that stuff from day one, from the conception of Xbox.
Yeah, X-Fault graphics can add, and tell people like, hey, look how good this game is for its time, right? Yeah, that can add. But if there's no good gameplay or good story to back it up, there's no point in caring about the graphics. That's the problem with a lot of these PS5 games, right? Mainly when it comes to Spider-Man and God of War. They've got very simplistic gameplay, and they mainly focus on stuff that is just movies for the most part. Cutscenes and animations. But they don't focus that heavy on gameplay. Look at Last of Us 2 as an example. That shit's just a literal movie everywhere you go. All the animations are heavily complex and all that, and all the shit you can do is just heavily animated. And it comes off as a movie.
As a brand, as a hardware brand, was that it had more specs to it. It had better graphics and stuff like that. It was touted as...
Of course, you're comparing it to like Halo, right? As long as the game and the next game that comes out is better graphically to it, most people don't care. As long as the game looks good and has a certain standard to it and stays true to the art style, most people don't care about the graphics. Yeah, it can look amazing. Look at Helldivers 2. Most of its amazing or good-looking graphics are through shadows, with decent textures to go behind it. That's literally all it needed to look good. And because it focuses heavily on visual effects within the games, it makes up for those either bad graphics when you notice stuff up close, through shadowing, lighting, and all that. It's just what makes the game look better. But it mainly makes it with fun gameplay. Like, you don't need good graphics to carry everything, champ. This isn't a Sony exclusive. Well, former exclusive.
Does that for so long, and that kept the method, and that's what they're talking about all the way up to the current gen, right? Xbox Series X, it eats monsters for breakfast. They were touting all this. It's just so powerful. It could just do anything. You're going to be good for multiple years, but, you know, right now they're pulling their consoles out.
I should say this. The only game that I can look at and say, yeah, look at its graphics, was Rise Son of Rome on the Xbox One, bro. That game, its gameplay is very simplistic, but I still had a bit of fun with it. But bro, that game's graphics are crazy. That shit still looks like a game that would come out to this day. You can kind of tell that it's slightly aging, bro, but shit's crazy. Good game.
Out from other countries and stuff already too, but you know, I digress, right? And yes, you are right, Destin. That's not the bad part, right? You are right in regards to graphics don't make everything. It doesn't make everything, but now you're damage controlling. You just bought a PS5 Pro. Look at my video a few videos back, and we went over the whole thing where he just turned around. I ain't getting it. Again, same thing. It's a bad deal. It's not needed, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up getting it. And then he tries to use the excuse, or not him, but...
Well, isn't he a reviewer of games as well? I don't watch his channel, so I wouldn't know. But doesn't he review these products to tell you if they're worth or not? So I couldn't necessarily say, but yeah, if he did that, yeah, L on his part. But if he's there to review these products, yeah, he's got a financial incentive to be there. I don't know. You can say that it's not worth, but also review the product by buying it, and then you can get rid of it or keep it, whatever. I don't see much of an issue with that.
His followers and simps were sitting there using the excuse, well, he's a journalist and he needs to use it for research purposes and all this, but he's getting himself
yeah,
a PS5 Pro, but then still wants to down talk it. When we get closer, and we are getting closer
yeah,
to the release of
he's
the
meant to
PS5
review it.
Pro, they're going to have some serious meltdowns and it's going to be glorious. But touching back real quick in regards to, yes, graphics don't make everything, but if you have a fantastic game, if the game is fun, and that is what it's about, is the funness of the game. Is that a word? The funness of a game? But it's a thing. You like it, you enjoy it, the gameplay is great, the story's great, all that stuff that you're talking about, Destin, but it doesn't hurt if the follow-up method to this is increased frame rate, is increased resolution, is increased processing and stuff like that. And then it works and comes together and plays and...
Yeah, graphics should always be secondary. Performance and gameplay and the actual fun of the game should always come first and foremost, but I don't get how you think this is gonna... Like, holy fuck, Xvo, you're retarded, bro. I'm literally gonna lose it.
And runs better. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? Now when you're putting the graphics and you're putting the resolution and the frame rates above the quality aspect in regards to the game itself, when it comes to how fun it is to play, in regards to what the story is, in regards to how gripping it is, or whatever the case or category that you want to use in this set example, that is what we're looking at. So when you have the best of both worlds, which is something Xbox was promising for many years, and again, I'll keep saying it until I have no breath left, is that we are seeing what Xbox promised. They promised for over a decade that we would have top-tier graphics, we would have top-tier performance.
And so does PlayStation. All these games that they release look good. Look at Hellblade 2. It has to be one of the most visually impressive games that I've seen in a long time. Am I going to play it? No, because it doesn't look like a fun game. PlayStation does the exact same thing. Of course, both of them don't actually keep up to their promises of actual good performance and good resolution. Final Fantasy XVI is a great example. The resolution was asked to keep up the stable performance. They're never going to hit that 4K or 8K. They never will, unless they're old games.
In regards to top-tier quality games. And those games have been very far and few between, and the quality hasn't even been there. The weaker PS5 base model, as a whole, on paper, is doing better running most games in quality aspects as opposed to the monsters eating monsters for breakfast Xbox Series X. And we won't even talk about the Series S and the parity clauses there. That's for another time again if we need to get into that again, but we already know how that story played out. That being said, another fraud, another shill, another crybaby, another victim mentality, another everything that...
How is this a victim? You know what? Fuck this video, bro. He's retarded. Well, look in the Backman video. But, bro, I don't get how this is like... You have a win on this, right? He just said what was obvious. Gameplay should come first. Performance should come first, and that's it. Like, how is that an own against him? Hell yeah, let's go through Twitter. We'll end off this stream by going through Twitter. Let's see if this big man added us yet. I'm gonna lose it, bro. He didn't add us. That's crazy. I'm gonna cry, bro. Anyway, let's go through Twitter quickly. Let's see what... yes. Japan hates Xbox doing the Lord's work. Oh, hell yeah. Old-ass Halo video from the old days, bro. That's peak. Give me a second. This red ring. Hell yeah. Look at all this shit. Did you guys see this, bro? Fucking, Urkel was going out of his way to fucking send privacy complaints to people's channels, bro. That's crazy. Shit's fucking strange that he was able to do that, bro. It's strange that YouTube allows the ability for anyone to do this without proving who they are. That shit's crazy. I don't know why people do that. Look at all this shit. It's amazing. Still love this, though. That's amazing. Isn't that his same account? Because I don't think we can see that right. That guy you hate. I don't actually know. Maybe that other guy's a Smurf account. I wouldn't know. Oh, that's my purse. I was about to like that. When professionals have stands, you don't like your own purse. Give me a second. There we go. What the fuck is this? And what's this post trying to? Call of Duty Black Ops 6 runs best on PS5 Pro. We ain't even gotten the Pro yet. They're literally the same, aren't they not? Am I high? Hell yeah. You know what? What's the time? We'll really see. There we go. We've been streaming for 3 hours. So, since I've got to go cook food, I might cut it here, boys. So, sorry for a bit short of a stream. We're only going to be like an hour shorter, but regardless, I guess I'll leave the stream here. You all take care and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one next week on Sunday. Is it Sunday? Yes, it is. It is Sunday. Good. I had to make sure I'm losing my mind. But regardless, I'll leave it all here. I'll see you all next time when I next stream, okay? Or well, my next video.